It takes me a second for some reason. What's that?
When you're done, check out my sweetening mug. It's all Shakespearean insults.
Footlicker. Oh, is this
Oh,
from
Footlicker?
What's her name? Jill?
No.
That's what I thought when she talked about it, but no, it's
No.
You Rampalion?
They're Shakespearean insults from my friend Elise.
You Fustelarian?
Quintessence of dust.
How you done?
Light of brain.
Veriest varlet
We
that
can
ever.
continue
Show how to
your
fucking
chat.
make
We can continue your movie chat when we get to the
I do
topics
desire
for
we
TV
may
show.
be better strangers.
Isn't that a good one?
Actually, that is
Like-
really good. Takes a second.
I'm trusting
Yeah.
you with this.
Um,
I've just been holding on to it. You don't have to
A
do anything
boil.
with it.
It's
A
sticky.
plague sore.
All right. What we got here? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 843. You son of a bitch. 843. The Silicobra Podcast. The Go Nintendo Podcast is a part of the HyperX Podcast Network. Listen to our show and other shows on podcast.hyperx.com. Mom Brain.
Son of a bitch.
You want to... Oh, Nintendo messaged me right while I was trying to read. That son of a bitch bastard.
That lump of foul deformity.
Mom Brain, would you like to
That
tell us about...
hourly promise breaker.
Would you like to tell us about Silicobra, please?
Hold on.
It's right here. You don't need to look it up there.
Silicobra digs, it
Wow.
swallows sand and stores it in its neck pouch.
It swallows sand.
As it swims.
That's foul. That's really
How's
foul.
your cocoa?
Good. Why?
Yeah.
What'd you do to it?
Nothing, I promise. I just wanted to know how it was.
It's G Fuel.
It's good.
Sea fuel, cocoa fuel.
That's actually a topic, well, slightly related to the topic I want to talk about.
Okay. Well,
But anyway, Mom Brain, please, the Pokemon.
I gotta get. Oh no, I have a milk bubble. Do you hear it? Do you hear my milk bubble? But it's
Yeah,
not
I
from
do.
milk because I haven't had any milk. I had an apple. Excuse me. Okay, so it swallows sand and stores it in its neck pouch. The pouch can hold more than 17 pounds of sand. LBs, if you will. 7 feet tall, 16 pounds.
Is
Jeez,
it
think about that.
Actual
being-
pounds or like worth? of-
no, LB.
Okay.
LB. Pounds.
Well,
16
pounds.
pounds at 7 feet tall. Like that's wow. And when it can hold 17 pounds of sand. So I guess it's not holding sand.
What do you want? What do you want? I don't know what you're talking about. I just... You can look at me all you want. If there's a joke,
Huh?
if I think of a joke, I'll tell
What?
you. Other than that, I got no clue what
I'm
we're
just
talking
saying
about.
the pouch can hold more than 17 pounds of sand, but they weigh 16 pounds on average. So
So they could weigh 33 pounds altogether if they're full up on
That's what I
sand.
was
If
going
they're engorged with sand.
correct. They're male and female, and the category is sand snake. And as such, the abilities
Oh,
the abilities include shed skin. The Pokemon may heal its own status conditions by shedding its skin.
Yeah.
And sand spit.
Yes, I was just thinking that.
Didn't we see
I was
Lube
thinking like
use
one ability that it could really probably use is when it throws some sand in your eye during a fight.
Didn't
Who
Lube
plays
do
dirty?
shed skin once?
Yeah, he
Many
did.
years ago?
Yep, definitely.
Down the shore.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Sand spit, in which the Pokemon
Some
creates
say
a
he still is
sandstorm
from that one
when it's
incident.
hit by an attack.
Thanks, Mom Brain. I
My
should have asked
hush.
you this before. It's completely my fault. Can I please have a glass of water? I'm so
got it.
sorry.
I
Oh,
got
thank you, Nikki Hill. I'm sorry, Mom Brain. I'm sorry. I should think when I drink such rich
Can you make me a hot
beverages.
chocolate? Can you go get me a water?
Now that's
He
not
needs
fair.
a drink to wash down his drink.
I said, can I have a warm chocolate? We got Mom Brain here.
Yep.
How are you doing, Mom Brain? That was good. I want to isolate that sound to make that a soundboard clip. Just have to boost the volume a little bit.
You're looking fresh in your teddy fresh, though. I really do like that.
It's a
hoodie
good
on
one.
you.
Yeah, that is a good one.
You know what? I did have a colleague see it one day and go, "Wow, that is a lot." And I told her to
Yeah,
kiss
you
my
Were
mentioned
they-
that. I don't think it's a lot. I think it's just enough.
I don't remember. Were they old?
JEI.
not very. I mean,
Thank
older
you,
than we
Nikki
are,
Hill.
but not like.
You.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
This is good. Nikki Hill gave me a cup with roughly 1/10.
No, he doesn't want more from
Of
you.
water?
He wants me to have to go get it in
Would you
5
like
minutes.
a tenth of water?
I appreciate you going the extra mile by
Or a
doing the
glass of
joke and
something?
having to walk by. Wait, I'm sorry. They're old. They're not old.
I mean, older than us, but not by a whole lot.
Because old people get easily scared by things like that, like
But I also
lots
feel
of
like an
color,
old person would. But I
bright
feel like
patterns.
an old lady in a school would love this. Do you know what I mean? Like that's
No, I don't think so. Because their eyes are fuzzy, so they just see
Oh.
like color. They
It's
wouldn't see that
confusing.
it's flowers. Yeah, they'd be
Okay.
frightened by it until you got close. Then they'd still be frightened, but you could
Like a
explain it to
dinosaur.
them.
They have the eyesight of a dinosaur. is what I'm
Yes,
saying.
yes.
for the
And then you'd be
record.
like, "Oh, they're flowers. It's a whole bunch of flowers." And they'd be like, "Well, back in my day, flowers were what? What's the matter here?"
cat
Oh,
pictures.
thank you.
For the record, it's not
Thank
a
you, Hill.
person I particularly respect or care for.
Oh.
So, it wasn't like it really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Hope they're not a listener. Nikki Hill is here. Hi, Nikki Hill.
Hi.
Dude, Michaels is here. How are you? Of course, my one and only best robot
My
friend.
name's Josh Robot, and I'm here to say I'm the best on this podcast, far and away. I'm so great. And you guys suck. If you don't like that, I don't give a darn.
We do give a darn, Josh. We give a darn for
Moving
you.
on.
Oh, okay. Nikki Hill, is this Brita water? Brita vagina water?
Yeah.
Wow, the extra mile. Thank you.
What else do you do?
I just get it out of the sink.
Oh
It's
my God.
fine. No, this is
Animal.
nice
How are you
treat.
still alive?
Nice treat. Like I don't let him drink out of the vagina.
No,
pitcher.
I mean, like, I'll fill it. Listen, by the way, the Brita pitcher has a vagina sticker on it. It just says vagina. It's from Cards Against Humanity.
Yes, but my point in putting it on our water pitcher is because I wanted to normalize the use of the word vagina because people, have such like a.
It can make
"Ugh."
some
I
people
wanted to
uncomfortable.
normalize the use of the
Vagina.
word vagina.
Did I say it like that?
A little bit.
I'm sorry.
And of course, George is here. George, how are you doing, my friend? You sound a little parched. What was that, George?
I could really use a cup of water, Mom Brain. This lime juice gets real acidic in the old throat.
That's true. If you're drinking straight lime juice, it's got to be pretty rough on your throat. And what do we got going on in the chat today? We got Tent Division. Hello, and Mom Perfect Brain, and Highly and Tom, and Outlaws, and oh wow, Red Souza, and Alternate Liz, and look at that beautiful cat, and Steve Irwin, R.I.P., and Anastasia Beaverhausen, and Zico Muto, and Ice Dilbert.
Excuse me. Hailey and Tom just mentioned.
Ice Dilbert, nice snake, by the way. William George, hello.
Hailey and Tom just mentioned that their kitty passed away a few weeks ago.
Well, we're sorry to hear that. What is the kitty's name?
Yeah, we need to know.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Roth.
Oh.
Hello to everyone else I didn't see. Thanks. Oh my God,
There's a
that
lot of
is a
good
cat.
cats.
Look at them
That is
curly
a cat
beans. Look at them curly
on a chevron background too. Also, yeah. Thanks for joining us on this Friday podcast. We will be busy tomorrow, so that is why we're doing it today. 10 Division, I see that. Anastasia Beaverhausen, I think I saw earlier you said that the podcast being today was a problem for you because you were watching Twilight. So I hope
Excuse
you
me?
enjoyed Twilight. Yes, Mommy.
Hailey and Tom's cat was named Dolly Jane.
Dolly Jane. Wow.
Oh, man.
This
Love it.
podcast is dedicated to Dolly Jane.
May Dolly Jane's eternal memory bring happiness to everyone who thinks of her.
That's right. Oh, like us right now. Hello, TK. Oh.
What was the name of that cat that ate so much that we saw on that TV show?
Garfield. I think.
No, it was like a Mark Charles or like it was some kind of like it was Tom Henry or
I know it wasn't Mark Charles,
John
but yeah,
Henry?
I remember it being two names. It wasn't John Henry.
Yeah.
Hi, Kyle. Beautiful cat, Kyle. Hello, William George. Beautiful cat, William. Look at these
Is
creatures.
that a real cat bed? Kirby
Yeah,
cat bed?
yeah.
It's the real deal, baby.
Kirby's got his hand in
Oh
everything.
my god.
Yeah, he does.
these
His mouth.
cats.
His mouth.
It's there.
It's a good question. I don't know that they've ever said what Kirby is as far as sex goes. Anyway, thanks for joining us this Friday podcast. I have a few things I want to talk about. Another sad topic. Nikki Hill, do you have something?
It's just a bottle
Oh,
of
okay.
Sprite.
I want to say how upset and frustrated I am to see the news about Cartoon Network that came out yesterday. If anybody doesn't know, Cartoon Network, well, Warner Brothers Discovery has been a giant mess. Like so many things were canceled on HBO Max when a Warner Brothers Discovery like merger thing was officially kicked off, and now Cartoon Network is caught up in that mess.
Bo Nugget.
Bo Nugget, that was the name.
And he
That's
was
a cat name.
on a show called My Big Fat Pet
There
Makeover,
you go.
and the cat's name was Bo Nugget.
So Cartoon Network has been pretty much like gutted. Cartoon Network's not going away, the channel. But they are like the push for original animation, because this Warner Brothers Discovery thing has been so crappy. Like, I don't know what they're doing. Like HBO Max and Warner Brothers and all that weren't making any money because they were mishandled. Discovery was making money, so everything's just going to be Discovery stuff now, because Discovery has My Foot Fungus and My 800-Pound Life and My
Discovery is also-
Two-Headed
Discovery
Sister
owns-
and whatever.
Or either they're owned by, or they own the Scripps Network, which is like Food Network and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
too.
so that's the direction everything's heading, and now it's hurting everything else, including, as we found out
So wait,
yesterday,
HBO
Cartoon
Max
Network.
was struggling.
Well, it was struggling in the sense of not content-wise, but
Was
and not
HBO owned by
subscriber-wise, as far as I
WB?
know either.
Or
They're
Warner
all under the
Brothers?
same parent company. So,
I mean, I knew they had their stuff. I don't know.
but yeah, well, because of the mismanagement in other areas, they, like I said, I think I
all
said it's on the
because of that
podcast.
last season of Game of Thrones.
I said this a couple
All
weeks
those
ago.
shows were real expensive.
Warner Brothers.
But it's a quality that you just don't
Oh,
get anywhere.
Warner
else,
Brothers
right?
could only afford to put out 2 movies this year. So like that's it, and their budget's gone. So it's been a disaster, and now it's hurting all the
It
good
was that
stuff.
Snyder cut.
Yeah, Cartoon Network suffered a bunch
Wait,
of
what movies?
firings yesterday. I don't remember. Look up
The
to
Batman.
it's out today. Black Adam.
Halloween.
Black Adam's
Oh,
out today, right?
That was it.
Oh, is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, are they?
So anyway, a bunch of employees got fired there, unfortunately, and it seems the push is going to be just using IP they already have to make potentially new stuff, rather than being what Cartoon Network has been from the beginning, fostering new content. Of course, they showed Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry and all that stuff over the years, but their big programming block from, like, I want to say 3 to now it's like 3 to 8 p.m. is all original content. What do we get out of those years? Regular Show, Adventure Time. There's a Chowder. What's the one we love? Flapjack. Again, there's millions of them, but all that stuff is, I don't even want to say put on the back burner. I want to say it's going to be very, very unlikely that any of that happens. Yeah, here we go, TKO. Thank you. Ed and Eddie. That's a great example from when we were younger. There's been a ton of, like, when I first got cable, I was like, Cartoon Network is the greatest thing to ever exist. I couldn't believe there was a channel that showed cartoons all day long, and then at night, adult cartoons. So I mean, that's, I watch Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I watch Sea Lab.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear what I'm saying? Why don't you get a key then? Craig of the Creek. Yeah, I know Craig of the Creek is a big one for them right now. So yeah, it's just, you guys know I'm a huge fan of animation, and cartoons and all that, and to see like one of the greatest bastions for original content being gutted really, really sucks.
It just seems like it's happening a lot in entertainment, where the money dictates the direction they go in, rather than changing the direction they go in to bring in the money.
Well, yeah,
Like
and then on top of that,
we can't afford this because we're not making money, but then they don't choose riskier decisions that might make them more money. So they go, yeah, we're not going to do that. We'll just cut everything.
Hi, Video Game Guru. Alternus Liz, I'm already a weeb. Don't worry about it. I definitely watch anime. There's a point I was going to make. Oh, well, that's the thing. It's like, this is not a bad thing about Cartoon Network, and this fact that Cartoon Network wasn't being watched or didn't have any hit shows. It did. It's just when the losses Warner Brothers and everybody else in the group is incurring based on their projects that fall apart, like, the success of Adventure Time is going to bring in merch and plenty of viewers and money, but it's not going to be able to match like one box office bomb from that year. Like it's on a completely different scale. So all their movie mismanagement and all that stuff leads to stuff like Cartoon Network being gutted, which is so frustrating. But
I mean,
yeah,
they're
so the
also-
plan now is to work with IP they already have and
It's-
reboot them.
There, I guess, a lot of companies or whatever, like, you know, their whole streaming service and everything, they thought that was the way to go because people would just pay for what they want. But now that everybody wants everything, they end up having to pay everything. So they start cutting back, and like, also you're limited to your income because it's just a one price per
Yeah.
month or per, you know.
Somebody's going to be somebody's going to make the bold effort to lump together some of these streams into
Well,
one
I mean,
thing.
that's kind of what they're doing, except they're just buying up all the companies to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to move more in that direction, definitely, because I mean, you know, all of us, we're sharing some logins for stuff because between us we must have like 50 different streaming
Yeah,
networks.
exactly.
It's nuts.
I don't even do the TV thing. I just stream stuff from different apps or from different borrowed passwords or
But-
my own passwords. or
Like I
whatever.
don't mind
But,
paying
like,
for
I
content. Don't get me
probably
wrong.
Save money just by paying for cable again rather than. Doing
Yeah, I
this.
know. I'm not against paying for content, but it is ridiculous when it's gotten to the point where like every major network has their own streaming service. Like, all right, that we were like the whole point of this was to give people something over the top, an over the top network where you got different content. Now everybody's got their own streaming services and you're just paying for everything individually. So that's not sustainable. Things are going to fall off. Which is why companies like Netflix have just introduced their ad tier, which is $7, I think. So that's ads. I don't know how many ads you get when you're watching
I
something
would
on Netflix, but
appreciate
on
it
top of that,
if that's their plan, is to offer cheaper options
Yes.
with ads rather than take what
For
the
now.
price that we're paying and just throw ads at it and be like, oh, you don't
Yeah.
want ads, then
but
pay
give it
more.
like 3 years and then it's
Yeah.
going to happen. The other thing is that they don't really talk about the ad supported tier is only 720p. I don't know how much that matters to
Yeah.
people, but that's a real like
You have to
kick in the
pay
nuts.
extra
You're getting
for the
1p
HD.
per dollar spent. How much?
ever since I got that new TV with my Apple TV, HD Apple TV or whatever it's
Yeah.
called, that I've noticed that Netflix is the one that looks the worst, and they even had a little disclaimer. It was like when I signed in first, it was like you should upgrade to HD for an extra
Yeah.
money, and I was like, I was like, man, and you feel bad because you've been there from day one mailing in the
Yeah.
DVDs back to them, and now you feel the service has gotten a lot better, but like at the same time they've been gouging you every single year, and
Yeah.
by service better I mean just like the idea of streaming it is way better
Yeah,
than
yeah, yeah.
mailing it in.
And another thing, by the way, hello, Autumnal Blake, who woke up early enough to come see us. The other thing is, and I don't know how many, again, I don't know how much people pay attention to this. When I'm streaming stuff, more often than not, I'm watching it on my computer because I just finished working there and I'm like, oh, I'm here. I'll just watch it here. There are multiple streaming services that if you're watching on a computer are only 720p. Like if you're watching through a browser, it's 720p and that's it. I want to say Disney Plus. There's another one. Apple TV Plus is another one. I went to go watch when it came out. Animation. Oh my god, it all ties back.
Animation.
The Irish one. The wolf.
Wolfwalkers?
Yeah. I went to go watch that and it was in 720p. And I'm like, I normally don't care about this stuff, but when it's animation, something that's like near and dear to me, I would like to see it like in at least 1080p,
Wait, so
please.
Apple TV Plus you don't have the HD Apple TV, is that what
Yeah,
it is?
no, I
or-
do.
So then what's the why? You
There
have to-
was a reason at the time why I was. Oh, we weren't part of his. We weren't all friends on that
Family.
thing yet. I was doing
Okay.
it through my
I
computer.
was gonna
That's
say,
why.
'cause now it looks good.
Now I'm on the TV. Yeah, but there's multiple ones that are like that, and I don't know why. But anyway, love animation. Horrible news for Cartoon Network. I don't even know what to tell you. This whole thing
There's a
with
fly
Warner
coming at
Brothers
me.
and Discovery is
I'm
going to be a
saluting it.
mess going forward, and it's already been bad. Now, I can't tell you how mad I am that Batman animated series reboot has been canceled. Although that makes less sense because they say they're working with IP to reboot them. So why cancel the one so many people were looking forward to?
Really? They canceled that.
They canceled like everything for HBO Max, especially in terms of animation. But so many projects for it. The only thing I know that is continuing through HBO Max that wasn't canceled is Peacemaker.
Well, that's
Which is great. I
yeah,
mean,
good, at least.
literally their number one show they're keeping, and everything else they're like, nope, forget it. So,
Westworld's not getting renewed.
well, that's not HBO
Or-
Max. That's regular
Oh, it
HBO.
is.
So,
I got
you know, they had the HBO Max originals, of
I'm so
which Peacemaker
confused.
was one
Yeah.
of them. HBO Max original is the Asian cop one too, which I can't remember the name.
Oh, Tokyo Vice.
So that's no more whatever.
really so there's not going to be another Tokyo Vice. Oh, that's a bummer.
Not as of right now. No.
That was a great show.
Yeah, that's so we'll see what happens. It's just bad news. I'm sorry. But I want to talk about it because it was frustrating, and I think a lot of people listening to the podcast are also fans of cartoons and animation in general. Moving on. I'll tell a funny story. So you can't really see me on camera, and you don't often see me. I hate talking about it because I don't want to sound boastful. But as I've said, for the last year, I've been walking and eating better, and I've lost. I don't know how much I've lost because I don't weigh myself, but I've lost a considerable amount of weight.
Hell yeah.
And thank you, Josh. And things affect me differently now. So a couple weeks ago, I was drinking that Gamer Fuel, G Fuel, and I like drank it throughout the course of the whole show. So that was like 3 hours, and I was okay. I felt it
Did
a
you
little
not
bit.
sleep that night?
No. I was okay. But Mom Brain got me these coffee drinks that I used to drink. I used to have one a day for a
Yeah,
while.
but-
It's only been this year.
Yeah, recently.
But you know, it was more early on when I started
What
dieting.
is it?
You
It's
can
the
go.
La
You can have
Colombe,
one if you want.
like
Oh, those are yours?
yeah,
They're great. I really like
Oh,
them.
like the
vanilla lattes, I think, in
Yeah.
a can.
But anyway, I have
this
gotten
guy.
like
fancy boy.
very little sleep this week for a whole variety of reasons. And I didn't eat as much one day as I usually do. And I woke up the next day and I was like dead tired. And I was like, I'm just going to drink this coffee now. So I drank it like quickly, like in a minute. I was just like shotgunned it or whatever. And then I'm sitting down to work. And then like a half hour later,
Shotgunning like a $5 can of coffee.
a half hour later, I was like, I'm dying. Like,
Oh,
I'm going to
no.
die right now.
Your heart was pounding.
My heart wasn't pounding,
No, but
but
you
I
feel
was
a
like,
little shaky. Yeah.
yeah, like I was like losing my mind. I was like looking at the computer and I'm like, I can't focus on what I'm doing. And I like sat back in the chair and I was like, should I call somebody? Am I going to pass away right now? And for like 6 hours, I was like, out of it. I was like, I need to go on my walk now. I got to get out of this. So I was like rushing to finish work and went for my walk. And then this was yesterday, by the way, for the whole rest of the day, like it got better as the day went on. But for a few hours, I was like, I have never felt like
He's
this
heading towards certain
in my
death.
entire life. And because caffeine has never affected me, or at least I didn't feel it affecting me because I ate whatever the hell I wanted and as much as I wanted. So throwing caffeine on top of a full stomach, like it didn't do anything. But now I was like, I don't know if I can drink this anymore.
Man.
So now I'm afraid. I didn't drink
Well,
one
I
today
mean,
because
it's
I'm
a
afraid to
difference.
drink it again.
I mean,
Yeah.
it enters your system differently too. I think if you pound it like that, like
I also thought that I was like, I think if I don't drink it that
but
quickly, I
also,
could,
Yeah,
like if
I
you
get
haven't been
empty
like if
stomach.
you're
yeah,
if you're
yeah,
already,
I hadn't eaten as much yesterday, and then that obviously I woke up the next day, and that was the first thing I did.
and you're
But you
like,
know, I'm thinking like everybody wakes up and they have coffee and whatever. That's what I'm going to do. Usually they don't, I guess, down it that quickly.
Well, I might.
Well, yeah,
My
but you're
system's
used
used
to
to
it. Yeah.
I mean, I tend to drink things like if like I have it by me or in my hand or whatever, like I'll drink it faster than I probably should. But like I definitely I've definitely had days where I had a coffee and I'm like, maybe I'll have another one, and then I feel like I don't know, it's like an anxiety or whatever where like I just have like this
Something is looming.
exactly
Yeah.
like
Hi, Guy Bones.
like I'm a little shaky and I don't really know why, and it just feels like I'm just really want to shed my skin and run down the street.
Well, I'm glad to know I'm not alone. I'm sorry that multiple people are feeling like this. Also, I see the comments about Our Flag Means Death being renewed. That
Thank
is true.
goodness.
That
Thank
happened
goodness.
before all this stuff went down, if I remember
Oh my
correctly.
gosh, thank
But
goodness.
it should be okay. You should be all right. I did not have any heart palpitations. No, my heart felt fine. I just felt very like nuts.
Flarp.
And it was because it's me. This is how I am. I felt like that, and I was like, I'm dying, and I was nervous that something was wrong and whatever. But I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
You made it.
I did make it. Hello, Giant Reggie. Yes, that's right, Giant Reggie. It's like my version of the superstar from Mario. And then one more thing before we get into news.
Live from New York. It's no. Oh, sorry.
Oh man, yeah, I could talk about that too. So I watched the premiere of Saturday Night Live this season, which
Is this
was
what you were going to talk about?
No.
Was that just this past Saturday?
couple Saturdays ago.
They're
It
still making
was
that show? I'm
out of
the
the loop.
guy from Top Gun Maverick.
Okay, Miles Teller.
Yes, who I know nothing of.
Not Tom Cruise.
He was very good. He was good. You could tell he was into it. The show was. It had some real good skits. It had some hits and misses, like your regular Saturday Night Live.
Mhm.
Then there was what's that Irish man's name? He's in a movie with Colin Farrell now. He's an older
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
Liam Neeson?
No.
Brennan. Is his name Brennan?
Brendan Gleeson?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's Mad Eye Moody, right?
It is. It is.
No
R.I.P. Hagrid.
hyperbole. I'm notoriously not that difficult on shows. I don't think I've seen a worse episode of Saturday Night Live than his. It was.
But he wasn't good.
I don't want to blame him.
Yeah, they didn't use him well.
Who Brendan Gleeson was on? You're saying?
Yeah, he was the special host.
Oh man, because he's great in like everything he's ever done.
Yeah,
Anything.
I don't blame
I
him
guess
one
he's
bit.
been in
He had
comedy, too.
nothing to work with. Like every skit, this sounds, everybody says this. Every skit was too long, but it felt even long by SNL standards, and it was like painful. Like I had trouble watching it, where I was like, I have to look away. This is uncomfortable. It was really, really rough.
And
Man,
we
that
had
stinks.
like family here watching it with us, and they were all like, "This is
Oh,
bad."
my cousin likes
Like,
watching.
It made the night like kind of a downer.
Well,
It's
my
like,
cousin likes watching SNL, so we had it on after the premium live event, Extreme Rules, which was excellent. And nobody was saying anything, but this is horrible.
Man,
so.
that's a bummer.
Yeah, because I had hope after the first episode. I was like, that was a good first episode. Not great, but good. But the next week, I was like, oh man, right down to the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, sometimes you think that they have skits that they've been trying to get on for weeks and weeks, not tailored to the host, but like
Yes.
something that they're like pushing, and they're like, well, can we do it this week with Brendan Gleeson finally? Like,
Yeah.
and they just shoehorn it. That could be a reason.
Well, it's funny you talk about that because the opening skit from the debut episode of this season was really funny, and it was all about. It was two sports guys. They were being sports guys. Two real life athletes. They were. No, let me start this again. Two of the SNL cast members were pretending to be real life sports people. I don't know who they were, and they were watching a SNL skit, like a fake SNL skit, to review it as it was happening. And they were talking about like how bad it was, and they were talking about these people had all summer long to write this stuff, and this is what they come up with. So a little like self-referential.
It's like
I
a
was like,
meta
this,
kind
yeah,
of-
this is. I appreciate that. So that gave me hope for the show. And then the next season or the next episode came about, and I was like, oh, somebody else must have wrote that.
Somebody
that
didn't learn
skit.
after all that analysis.
Or they were like,
analysis.
hey, we set them up first week to tell them what it's going to be like, and now second week, let's go in. But that's besides the point. I'll do this very quickly. This week I did a review of a piece of tech instead of a game. I did a review of the. How the hell am I supposed to say this? The X-Gimme, the X-Gimme Elfin projector. Yes, which is again a company that reached out to me and they're like, we think XGIMI.
X gonna give me to it.
X-Gime.
They said our projector is perfect for the Switch. You should check it out. I was on the fence about it. I decided to do it. I wrote the review. All I need to know is if you guys are down with that kind of stuff. Because if you're down with more tech-related reviews that still tie into video games, obviously, I'm not just going to review random tech. Has to tie into video games in some way. Let me know. But thank you to those who read it and reached out.
TLDR. Tell me about it.
I really liked it, and I had a lot of misunderstandings, or I thought of projectors in the wrong way. I know there's
I thought
short.
you're supposed to look directly into the light.
I thought, I've heard of short throw projectors and all that stuff, but I'm like, if you want to get a projector that's actually good, you got to spend like a couple grand or something like, and you got to mount it from the ceiling and all. And this one is supposed to be like, put it anywhere you want. Works like it'll give you a 60-inch to 120-inch screen. Got a really bright light, 800 lumens or whatever, all this stuff. It's like,
You got to
Right,
black out the
right.
whole room, or does it work?
no, it works. It works more than good enough. I had like I didn't have the blinds drawn. I had them open, and it was like I was fine, but I closed it, and it was like screaming off the wall. Like it was a lot. So I adjusted it a bit, but yeah, I liked it. The only thing I said in the review that I had to change, or the two things I complained about were not really a complaint. I had to turn on game mode. It has a special game boost mode or whatever for input lag, which eliminated eliminated the input lag issue. And then like I would never use it where I'm using the speaker on the projector because it sucks. The speaker sucks, but
the
that's
thing
to be
that
expected.
I'm confused about, because I've never really. I mean, if people have tried it or deal with it, tell me about it. But
I'm gonna sneeze.
bless you. Having a projector and then having like a wireless speaker system, like Bluetooth wireless has lag, and how does that get eliminated? Because I tried a Bluetooth receiver and transmitter for work so that I wasn't like tied to an actual camera with an earpiece, because I know people have used it, but the lag, it's not very much. It's like a fraction of a second, but it drove me insane.
I think the closer it is to, if it's only a little bit off, I think that's worse than if it's a lot.
Yeah.
This has Bluetooth audio if you want to do that. I did not do that. I did headphones. And obviously you could run your HDMI into something else too if you wanted. So there's multiple options.
Maybe if it's part of the actual device that they factor that in, and it's like they delay the video just so that everything syncs up. But
I was much more worried about the input lag for controllers, obviously, which what was there wasn't horrendous, but it was noticeable. And I went to see if their game boost mode fixed it, and it eliminated it completely. So that was the first time I've ever used any piece of tech that had game mode that actually worked. I've used it on TVs before where it didn't do anything, or it did very little.
And again, it's such a small
lag,
but it's noticeable.
It's noticeable. Yeah, it wouldn't stop me from playing a game. Like I could get around it, but I didn't want to. And like I said in my review, I played almost the entirety of Kirby and the Forgotten Realms on that projector. So and you played some of it on there too. You didn't notice any input lag, right?
No, I thought it was great. I thought it was great fun. You can still do the headphones, I guess.
You can do headphones. You can do you can do headphones or headphones or Bluetooth audio. Yeah.
And did you? I guess you only tried the Switch because you're a Nintendo website.
I mean, I streamed some stuff off of YouTube just for the hell of it, and that was fine. Yeah, it's got a built-in Google Chromecast, so it's got all. You can download all your
PS5 and go round and around Red Dead.
Well, that's the thing. They're saying this is targeted towards the Switch because it maxes out at 1080p.
Oh, cool.
So that's why it's a great. On the Switch, that doesn't matter. That's the best you're gonna get. And price is like $570, so it's not bad as far as projectors go. It's not bad. So if you're down with that stuff, let me know. Go check out the review if you are interested. And that's that. Thanks for coming, Nikki Hill. We'll see you later.
He's going to check out the review.
Mom Brain. It's not set up in there right now, Nikki Hill. It's in a box. It's either under my couch or in my closet. When I reorganized my room, I took it apart.
I just wanted to see it. I didn't because I'm going to use it.
If you go to review, there's pictures. All right, Mom Brain. Can we
actual space? I want to see it in person. No. IRL.
It's about as wide as that cereal box. No, you know what? It's about exactly it's exactly shaped like that Mario Kart sticker on that box. Yeah, that might be a little bit bigger, and it's
Kart sticker
on this Keebler Mario Kart thing.
Yeah,
see that square? That's about the size of the thing. What?
This from here? Oh, that's a sticker. I thought that was printed on.
Just the fact that I said sticker threw you for a loop.
Yeah, because I thought I didn't see a sticker there.
I didn't know what else to say to make it clearer, so that's why I didn't say anything. I just
There it is.
That image, yes.
Yeah.
I'll take it out for you later, and I'll show you the projector. My brain.
How
Can't we
you
get into
doing?
news? How you doing? Get into
But I've
news,
seen
please.
everything.
Ooh, excellent.
Nice, Sir Patrick.
Oh, somebody suggested lyrics for that we should all sing somewhere. Where did they send that to me?
You have it now.
Was it in the Discord?
They suggested lyrics, like they
Yeah.
just suggested that you should add lyrics.
No, they suggested we should add. Hello, Kufu. They suggested we should add lyrics.
Sure, why not?
And also wrote the lyrics.
Nice.
Well. We got a juicy one to start off with today, guys.
Ooh.
Tara Strong. Speaking of Cartoon Network, Tara Strong, probably one of the most well-known voice actors in cartoons today. People at the table would know her
One
for Harley Quinn.
I've heard of that.
The one we know, Harley Quinn, not Kaylee Cuoco or anybody else that's coming there. She did. She's done a million things. Powerpuff Girls.
Mr. J.
She does what's her face in Teen Titans. What's the girl? Raven.
That's
No. What's her name? Star. I don't remember. I'm
No.
bad with DC people.
Our Harley Quinn that we're familiar with was
Eileen Sorkin.
Eileen Sorkin or
Oh, that's
Arlene?
right.
Eileen?
You're right. Never mind. So Harley Quinn from the games. There you go. But a
Giant
million other
Reggie has
things.
lyrics.
Oh, thank you.
Talented voice artist. Continue.
Yes. She was on Twitter and she was riled up about the Super Mario Brothers movie because of voices.
Really?
She has a picture of her and Charles Martinet together and she tweeted out, "It should be Charles."
Wow.
And then
I
she
love
followed it up
that.
by saying, "Voice actors, I'm going to put my heart and soul." All right, so I don't know how to explain it. She's pretending to be a voice actor in the scenario, which is funny because she is. So, voice actors, I'm going to put my heart and soul in this for at least 20 years, help sell billions in merch, make the studios millions of dollars, and make generations around the world happy. Hollywood, we don't care. So
Yeah.
she doesn't
Coming from the
think that
person
Chris
who
Pratt
took
should.
over for another voice.
Right. But still, voice actor to voice actor. Hey, if somebody's given up the
yeah,
role,
I'm just kidding.
um,
What do I know?
There's something I don't know for sure, but I think that like voice actors look at actors in a different light, whereas actors look at voice actors and they're like, oh, like we're just actors.
Voice
you know, we're-
voice actors look at screen actors as CG, as what CG is to,
Yes,
to
that's
screen
what I mean,
actors. It's
yeah.
like they're coming for our jobs.
this like any listen. I'm going to say it very bluntly. If you're an actor and you think you're above other actors because of how those actors perform, be it voice or whatever, you're an idiot.
No, I didn't mean it like
Sorry.
that. I mean, I'm
No,
sure
I know
there's
what you
some
mean.
that
Yeah.
feel that way too.
Yeah.
but-
And then Charles Martinet on Twitter responded and said, "I love you, Tara. Thank you so much.
He knows.
Thank you, everybody. Your love and kindness mean more than you could ever
He's
know
keeping
and
it
genuinely
positive.
touched my heart. My little eyes seem to be leaking today with tender affection. Thank
What
you."
a gem. What I mean, put him up there with Richard E. Grant.
I don't know Charles Martinet personally, but he strikes me as the kind of guy that would be sad to not be Mario, but also be happy that he's still in the movie. He'd be like, yeah, I would like to be Mario, but it is what
I'm
it is.
sure he understands. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Thank you
he
so much
understands
for
how the
playing my
game
game.
works, but it doesn't mean he's got to like.
Yeah.
You lost today.
Oh,
kid.
he's watching
Doesn't
the
mean you
internet where
gotta
the
like it.
internet's talking about like Chris Pratt's garbage and his Mario sucks, and he's watching it at home and he's like, oh,
He's probably
I know.
basking in that a little
Yeah,
bit.
right?
But that was cool of her to tweet that out. I think
Voice actors respecting voice
I
actors.
agree with that in some respect. Like, I mean, sometimes traditional like film actors are voices in things, and I think they do a good job. But a lot of times it's just like, oh, I can tell it's that person's voice, and that's
Yeah.
kind of why they were cast. Whereas,
Yeah.
we as gamers get to experience a lot more voice actors, I think, too, and we can tell when they're like. I mean, it's really a fine art. It's really something.
I was going to talk about voices. I don't want to
Yeah,
forget it. I'll say it to
I do
myself. Go ahead,
voices.
No,
Nikki.
you say it.
That's all I could think of when
From
he's-
Mrs.
Yeah, yeah.
Doubtfire.
Voices.
I do voices.
Voices.
It's pretty good. Pretty obscure.
Liam Neeson. I was thinking of voice actors who don't change their voices because the guy in Neon White, the main guy, Neon White.
Whoa.
He doesn't really
Now
change
that's
his
a
voice for
changed
anything, but
voice.
I love that man's voice. I don't want him to ever change it.
He
Love that
works
guy's
for
voice.
some reason. Yeah.
So there's him, and I was going to say Liam Neeson is another guy who never changes how he acts or his voice, really.
Well, yeah, he'll be in like I grew up in America my whole life.
And that reminded me, I wanted
Sorry.
to ask, did you hear the news about Liam Neeson this week?
Oh no! What did he say?
There's a reboot of a movie franchise reboot, and he's being talked to be the lead in it.
I don't know.
It's a comedy.
Oh no!
You definitely know it. There have been 3 of them.
Home Alone. No, there's been
Rush
more.
Hour or something.
No, near and dear. They don't really make this kind of comedy anymore.
Airplane.
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun.
Liam Neeson's
They
gonna
want
be in a
Liam
Naked
Neeson
Gun
to be
movie?
the lead in Naked Gun, and I was like,
it
I
could-
don't
could
hate
happen.
that.
All right, I'm
Like-
happy with that.
I mean, think about
I thought you were going to say he's going to be in another action.
think about that
movie
episode of
after he said he
Sure he
was
will.
done.
Life's Too Short.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Of,
And
'cause
that's
when he's
perfect,
Like,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to do
He can-
comedy.
Yeah, I think it could work. I think if you lean into all of that, I think it could work. So, but anyway, Nikki Hill, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, there was no outcry or anything for Kirk Douglas to play Michael Douglas's father in the game when Charles Martinet was in that role.
That's
so
right. Charles Martinet was his dad.
You're right.
Didn't
You're
have
right.
Any speaking lines, and it was like mostly like creepy family footage from like
yeah, it's like old
like
like
the 50s
film.
or something.
Also, I want to put some respect on what is this?
Love that.
I want to
show.
put some respect on
Love
Tara
it.
Strong's name because I know her and I know her work, and I couldn't think of anything. Here's just a quick rundown of stuff she's done: Batman, Teen Titans, Rugrats. Oh, yeah, it's Rugrats, of course. Why couldn't I think of that?
Who's she in Rugrats?
Powerpuff Girls, Fairly Odd Parents, Shaolin Showdown, Ben 10, Chowder, Wow Wow Wubsy, My Little Pony,
I love Wow Wow Wubsy.
DC Superhero Girls. Also games like Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom, Jack and Daxter, Final Fantasy, Batman Arkham, obviously, and many others. She's, again, one of the most prolific voice actors
Tara
out there.
Strong. Will speak your name.
So she's out there speaking out for Charles. And I don't remember who's, I think Tara said it. She said something like, I had a booth I had a booth at a convention that was next to Charles, and like we had the best time ever. And she said every time she goes to a convention now, she's like, I want to be next to Charles Martinet, and they like hang out at every convention
Oh.
together now and everything. So
As awkward as that interaction that I had with him back in the day was, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I think even from that small interaction, and maybe I'm tainted over the years of just hearing stories about him, like he seemed like a genuine,
I think he
sweet
was.
Mom
like,
Brain had a great moment with him too.
Yeah, he was very sweet to me, and he made sure to like take an extra minute to like record a little something for my class. And he was like, let me get your name right. And he's like, hello to all my friends in Miss So-and-so's class. Like, it was very
I think
Hey,
it was
it's me, Mario. I hate the little kids. Get the hell out of
be
here.
nice to your teacher or I will die.
done with homework.
Give them detention.
I think Deux got to share the story because there's people who don't know it.
I just think
He will.
that situation was like the time and everything else. And I think you asked him, there was no real context to what you asked him. You just asked him for it, right? And like
Yeah,
he's
it's-
recorded a lot of stuff. and-
God. Listen,
Like, I met-
in our minds, we were wrong. Because
Oh,
we all
I
talked
was
about doing
100%
it.
wrong.
He said he was going to ask him, and neither of us never thought to be like, maybe we should explain the character and what we want. It was just
Mhm.
like, he's
Right.
got to remember it because our stupid asses say this
Exactly.
all the
Like
time.
I met Maria Bamford after one of her shows, and I commented on something about a Tim and Eric bit or something, and it was like she had no idea. And to me, I'm thinking like,
Who are Tim and Eric?
Tim and who?
and I'm thinking to myself like,
Jim and Derek?
at the time I was like, you're not into that much stuff. You got to remember this, right?
Cool.
I love the lady.
Dude, do you want to recap
She's
the
into a
story
ton
for
of
those
stuff.
who don't know?
Sure. So this was when it was E3 for the Wii, right? Correct. The year that they were kind of showing the
Like
Wii
the
off.
debut of it,
2006,
yeah.
yeah.
So
So-
it wasn't it wasn't out yet. It was the first time press got to play it.
And we were all there. They somehow let these reprobates in, and we were lined up kind of around this wall. You couldn't even see behind the wall to see the Wii or anyone playing it, but you were lined
We
up.
were on
to,
the
like, get
other
there.
side of the booth. The line was so long.
Yeah. So, and along the wall that we're lined up against are these TVs at like certain intervals. and there was like a camera setup, not too elaborate, but pretty elaborate for the time, I would say. A camera setup where they could someone on the TV was sitting there like backstage watching the line, and you could interact with them. And one of the people was Charles Martinet, and he was sitting there just on the TV as we walked by, and he saw me and everything. And at the time, I wanted him to say from one of the some crazy Mario Golf game from who knows 2006 or something.
Yeah.
But like, so I wanted him to say in Wario's voice, "Good luck to me." And I was thinking to myself, well, of course he's going to know exactly what I'm talking about when I ask him to do it in my own voice. And like, so it's like, "Hey, how you doing? What, like whatever, nice to see you, whatever." And then it was just like, and then I said, "Do you mind saying good luck to me?" And then he goes, "Good luck to you." Like,
I mean, he nailed that. He nailed
Oh
it.
my
Mario,
God.
and like any person who's grown up playing Nintendo, they would have just melted right there if they were in the right mindset. But I'm thinking that I'm going to get this great Wario reading, and he gives me this Mario, "Good luck to you," and like my face, like my whole body sagged.
Do you think he talks about? He's like, I told the guy what he wanted to hear.
Next
and I
time,
just
next time I'm
disappointed
lucky
him.
enough to see him, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up.
He does not remember.
I'm sure he
luckily,
doesn't. Yeah.
but like he definitely in that moment saw the
Yeah.
disappointment through the camera and through the TV,
And he's got to be
through it
like,
all.
I'm literally the voice of Mario. How can I do this wrong?
he nailed it, and I wish that, I mean, it's in my memory forever, so I don't need it like
Now,
filmed,
next
but,
time you
like,
see him, you got to go, and he's got to do the opposite. So you'll ask for his Mario, and he'll give you Wario.
ooh, that would be awesome. So long, dear Bowser.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so I don't know, but he seemed really, really sweet. He was very nice, and like without, how many people were asking him to say stuff,
Yeah.
and he was just like,
The
boom,
guy's
right
just
on
sitting
it.
there, like entertaining people while they're in line, like blowing an hour of his day, acting like a puppet for everybody, and he's an incredibly nice man from anything we have ever
And
seen.
how many people do you think were like, "Oh, tell me like 420, man," or
Let's
like,
get Mario to say "suck my dick"?
right, like like D's nuts,
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how much D's nuts was a thing back then.
Did
but yeah.
you?
Suck my dick is universal.
That's true. Or
Suck my dick.
Suck your dick.
I guess the up dog situation also was way later than that. I just watched an
Yes.
episode of What We Do in the Shadows where Colin Robinson, the energy vampire, tries so hard to get people to fall for it, and just no one does it. It's so great.
The most upvoted comment comes from the King Up North, and they say, "I respect and appreciate Charles Martinet. His voice is iconic, and he is the perfect voice for Mario in video games. But I don't think he would be the ideal choice for a full-length movie that has a ton of dialogue. That very Mario voice would likely get on my nerves quickly because it just doesn't translate well to dialogue. That's why you almost never hear Mario say anything more than simple expressions of excitement or disappointment in video games like Wahoo or Mamma Mia. Is Pratt the ideal choice? Hell no. But he does give Mario a more normal voice for dialogue.
That would be great.
Yes, I think that's the thing. People, A, don't like Chris Pratt. People, B, think Pratt's Mario is way too far from Mario. If we had somebody who was bridging the gap a bit more, it'd
Do
be
you
better.
think that Charles Martinet, I'm positive he could do this, but would it be right? Do you think they could be like, do a little bit of a different Mario for the movie? Like,
Yeah.
and like, just tone it down a little bit, maybe have some of those things. I think that would have been reasonable.
Yeah, I could do
to
that.
have.
are we also
let
gonna
me
have
try
him-
a take right now. Hey, it's a me, Mom.
And are we also going to have him do the voice of Luigi too? Or are we going to give that to somebody else?
Oh my
Well,
god,
Can you give us a little Betty White?
Mario!
Look, we know he's a talent. I heard him in Skyrim as that dragon. He was terrific. So I think he could do it. But yeah, it doesn't, to Disney or whoever who's making this movie.
Illumination,
Thank you.
Universal.
It doesn't look as good to have Charles Martinet's name on the billboard.
On the
you know what
marquee.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's my little cord? Oh boy, I can't see
that
it. Oh yeah, it's right here. Thank you. I was trying to get prepared
Is
for
that
later.
it?
Yeah, I don't think an hour and a half of Mario's voice doing regular Mario would work either.
But just like how they sometimes have, different people singing songs than the people who are acting, maybe he can be the woohoo guy.
Did you hear who's singing in this movie?
Bowser?
Your buddy. No, you talked about him last week on the podcast.
Oh, Keenan Michael Peele.
He said this week that he got to improvise a song for the movie. So yes, y'all get to hear him sing.
I'm
Sorry.
the star of the show.
I butchered his
Josh,
name.
are you in the movie?
Sure, whatever.
Wow.
Oh, so
and you just
chill about it.
nonchalantly dropped that bomb on us?
Shout out to my bros.
The Mario bro?
Although, like,
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Good for
Nice.
you, Josh. Good for you.
also, like, would people prefer that, like, we bring Bob Hoskins back from the dead to be the voice of Mario?
I was just gonna say, like,
Well,
would you
that
say
was a
get it?
time when Mario didn't have a
also,
voice. So.
also, that's a time where it's like so far from the original source material, where it's like
It's-
just do what you want.
Yeah,
at that
right.
point.
but they hired this Cockney, like, and he's a great actor, but he's like a Cockney
Oh,
gangster type. I mean, he doesn't. He
not in that. He's still like
But-
an American accent, right?
He's got a Brooklyn accent in it.
No, he's
Brooklyn
great. Hey,
accent.
he's great. But like, who thought like, oh, we're going Bob Hoskins for this? I mean, it's like it would be
I mean,
like
he
casting,
Because he looks like him.
Yeah.
That's
it'd
it.
be like casting Brendan Gleeson as Mario in this kind of.
Well, I mean, Bob looked like Mario at least somewhat. And that's funny because nothing else in the movie looks like anything Mario related. Like
I mean,
the
if-
outfit he wears doesn't look like a traditional Mario outfit. The Mushroom Kingdom is some
He had those boots, the jumpy boots,
industrial hellscape, like
Blade Runner.
yeah, whatever. I saw a compilation on TikTok just this week of everybody that's voiced Mario. And I forgot how much I liked the guy who did it for Super Mario World, that cartoon. He doesn't really he's got a little bit of an accent, but I like that guy. I don't know if that guy's still alive, but again, they wouldn't pick him for the movie because they want star power. So,
Power.
and I guess that matters to the adults that are going to go because it's not like the kids are like, Mommy, Chris Pratt is Mario. Let's go see him. It's like the
I bet
adults
you-
are like, oh, it's got Chris Pratt.
I bet you it does. You know, we're
I guess.
a lot of us in our generation not having kids. You know, that'll get us to go see the movie. Not me, but like, you know, like people in our area, in our realm, they like that guy. I don't know.
Our age range?
Realm.
Our realm. Our
You
Kirby
know,
realm.
Like the Kirby.
Moving on. Platinum has worked with Nintendo multiple times, and as you may
Moving
remember, thank you, Josh. Platinum is something wrong here?
No.
Platinum hired somebody left Nintendo, a big name left Nintendo to go work at Platinum. And that's because Platinum really appreciated how Nintendo was doing things, and they're like, well, why not try and expand our business by working with someone who worked at Nintendo and did that same thing there?
Did that.
But this isn't Platinum doing its own thing and moving away from Nintendo. They say Nintendo is still very important to them. Obviously, that's true because Bayonetta 3 comes out October 28th. With early impressions saying that is Platinum's best game yet. I've seen that
Ooh.
multiple times.
Big
so.
bad words.
Um,
Bold words.
This is Platinum Games CEO Atsushi Inaba talking about Nintendo
Better than
and their relationship.
Mad World.
Well, obviously, Nintendo's former licensing GM and managing director of sales and planning, Mr. Yamane, didn't leave Nintendo on bad terms at all. And this partnership that we have with Nintendo is very important to us right now and will be moving forward. I think with Yamane joining us here, Platinum Games can definitely build an even stronger relationship with Nintendo moving forward. That can only be a positive thing for Platinum Games. So yeah, we're very glad to have him on board. I mean, it's a wonderful pairing because Platinum makes so many games that Nintendo would and could never make. So it's perfect for those companies working together. And again, I said Bayonetta is coming out, but we just got one from Platinum. Nier Automata just came out, which was developed by Platinum.
I think with Yamane over here, Yaman over here,
With your man over here,
with Yaman
Currybo.
coming in and join the party, yeah.
Currybo. How you doing? Currybo says, so far it's been a great partnership. Long may it continue. Yeah, it's a partnership I would have never expected, but it seems to have worked out so well. Oh, I wish I put
Sorry,
these
that was
stories back
my
to back.
that was my impression of
Charles
Bob
Martin.
Hoskins playing Mario.
Yes, spot
I
on.
thought you were gonna do more of a "What's the Yamada you" kind of thing.
Well, nice segue there because we have more about the Mario movie. The now that we're a week plus removed from the trailer, we can crunch the numbers and see what people thought. And the
Can I get a
response has
number
been
crunch, Abdul.
Numbers.
the response has been very good. So 5 official uploads of the trailer were put on YouTube from Illumination, Nintendo America, Universal Pictures UK, Universal Pictures Australia, and Movie Trailers Source. And throughout that, in the first week, the trailer saw 23 million views, and roughly 800,000 people decided to vote with a like or a dislike. And as it stands, likes stood altogether at 95.4%. So overwhelmingly positive.
I like a good movie trailer.
To put that in perspective, in the same amount of time, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer racked up 12 million views, and obviously the reaction to that was quite a bit lower because of Sonic's design. That had a 39% like rating at the time. But the second trailer that showed the redesign of Sonic shot up to an incredible 97% positive. So,
Amazing.
so yeah, the Mario movie off to a good start. It's kind of how some things work. The internet complains about something a lot and says it's the worst thing ever, and that gets millions of views and likes and watches on the internet.
What rules, you sons of bitches?
But in reality, not that big.
I am a
deal.
little nervous because, like with Sonic, people went in. I feel like people just generally had lower expectations for it, and then what they got, they enjoyed. And I feel like with this, the expectations are probably going to be.
You don't know Sonic fans. I'd say rabid Sonic fans are crazier than rabid Mario fans, and I mean that nicely. I count myself among Sonic fans.
What does that mean? Like, I feel like
I'd say they'd be even more judgmental.
But I like negatively, and then being happy with what they got.
No, harder to please, no matter what I'm saying. Link the Viking has the most upvoted comment. Says, "I liked it. Excited to see and hear more." No, excited to see more and hear Luigi and Peach. We did see Luigi. We didn't hear Luigi. Charlie Day.
If you listen, like, yeah, I think that's a good. I mean, I think he nailed it with that.
I'm doing those Trump noises. I think my dad does a really good impression of Luigi.
You could probably pitch that up a little bit,
man.
Yeah, that's true.
You gotta get that. You gotta get My Parents Play back up and running, man. And there's clamor for it.
I want to. I just don't have the time, man. I really like. I don't know. I want to.
I understand.
So yeah, I want to hear what Anya Taylor-Joy is like as Peach as well. Is she going to do her voice? Is she going to do a Peach voice? Is she going to do a blend of the two? I don't know.
Sounds like it's none yet Taylor business.
Oh,
till we see the next trailer.
Does Despicable Me have music like songs? I don't know if it's like.
I have never seen a Despicable Me or a.
I saw them. I saw them. I'm trying to think. I don't believe they have musics in them, like sing-along musics.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's what they call them. Yeah, sing-along music.
I don't believe it does. I remember
Did they do Ice
enjoying
Age too?
them,
Illumination?
so I'm hoping that this will be enjoyable.
I think in those movies they tend to do more like Ice Age and Minions. They tend to do more like licensed music montages. So like throw some Lizzo in there and they twerk and they bounce
Because
around.
I'm happy as a
Yeah,
drum
stuff like
and
that.
went
Stuff like
home
that.
And Lizzo is working good. And I'm happy.
Good, Josh. Watch out! Somebody's coming for your crown.
We're gonna throw arms in
I'm
the
the
air.
world's best singer.
Put that in a movie. That's a song, Josh. Moving on. Bravely Default is celebrating its 10th
Moving
anniversary.
on.
Bravely Default debuted on the 3DS and got a sequel called Bravely Second. And there's some other Bravely Default stuff in there as well. But yeah, believe it or not, it's been 10 years since the first Bravely Default came out. I think I have, right there, the special collector's edition of Bravely Default.
Look at that.
And Square Enix put out a special vinyl album release for the anniversary. They also put out a special anniversary set that doesn't include the game, but includes all kinds of fancy artwork and other goodies. But what about the games, damn it? Well, according to
Mr. Grubb?
Bravely Default producer
analyst?
Tomoya Asano. Seems like there might be something
What's
going on
Asano
with
you?
a remaster.
Ah.
Mr. Asano says, over the past 10 years, our team has grown larger and our capacity has increased. Looking at the opening movie of Bravely Default, I feel like announcing a remaster of Bravely Default would be the best possible thing and something fans would desire. But for now, I'm unfortunately unable to announce anything like that. For now, let's just say. So let me read that again. He says, for now, let's just say. So in other words, they're doing a remaster and he's not allowed to talk about it yet. But basically, he talked about it.
Your
So
favorite, a remaster.
there's a remaster coming. Yeah, you know, in the grand scheme of remasters, I'm less annoyed by this because it was on the 3DS. So just like Final Fantasy Crisis Core, which was on the PSP, if you're remastering that and bringing it to consoles, I get it. Not my favorite, but playing it on TV is a nice thing. So
when it comes to remasters and remakes, and I think we knew this already about you, there is kind of like a graph, and there's going to be a little bit more leeway given for time and for system.
yeah, time and system, all of them I don't personally appreciate, but there's levels of that. Like I'm not going to buy it, but I can see at least some sort of path for it. So being on the 3DS, being 10 years old, moving over to a console, okay, I can see the argument there, which is again exactly what Square Enix did with or is doing with Crisis Core, was on a portable, getting remastered, coming out on consoles, including the Switch. So
You're not going to get that, I'm sure, right?
no. Not interested. Looks like they're doing a nice job with it, but no, not interested. I also read that if you played the original, you really don't need to play this one. It seems like they're not really going out of their way to add in a bunch of superfluous stuff. So
That's assuming you remember anything about the games you
I
played.
remember bits and pieces of that one. Yeah, I do. Some of the story beats I don't remember, but I remember playing that because that's one of the 10 or less games I owned on the PSP. I didn't own a lot on the PSP. I owned Daxter, whatever that game was called. If it was just called Daxter, I don't know. They're blocked behind boxes up there. But anyway, most upvoted comment comes from Steister. And they say, that would be amazing. I never got a chance to play it on the original system, and I would love a second shot at it on the Switch. Yeah, especially with Square Enix doing the HD 2D games and that genre, like Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy, and well, those two mainly. It seems like, at least from a gameplay perspective wise, Bravely Default would find a bigger audience now as well. And of course, if you're putting it on the Switch, bigger install base too. So yeah, I think if there's ever a case to do it, now would be the time. That's all speculation though, because the guy didn't confirm anything, and we don't have any idea for platforms either. But if something pops up, we'll be sure to let you know. Josh, my best friend from college days, can I get a throw to
We'll
commercial?
be right
please?
back after a word from our sponsors.
Hello, my name's Jonathan Dunn, host of the O3C podcast. Every week I'm joined by my two best gaming buddies, Chris and Minty, and we talk about the games we're playing, the games we love, and how they rank alongside our sacrosanct top 100 favourite video games of all time lists. Deep dives into gaming mechanics, history and lore abound, all topped off with lashings of irreverent dry British wit, witterings and wisdom. Details on the show and more, head to o3c.games and tune in every Monday on the HyperX Podcast Network.
Come on in, take a seat. What are you having? Well, of course I've heard of Hair of the Dogcast. That's the podcast that talks about video games and beer. For all of the latest gaming headlines, craft beer reviews, retro games, modern games, series retrospectives, console studies, and on occasion, extremely hungover discussions on the lore of Kingdom Hearts, make sure to check out Hair of the Dogcast, part of the HyperX Podcast Network.
Mom Brain,
Yes, my dude.
are you excited?
For what?
We have an ad read. Do you know what it's about? It's the same one as last week.
Pink stuff.
That's right. We're here to
Discounted
announce a
pink
special
stuff.
deal. Discounted. Not what's that stuff on TikTok? Pink sauce? Pink?
The pink stuff.
Was it called pink stuff?
We have it.
You-
The cleaning stuff?
No, the
Oh.
food.
Oh.
That lady that made that
Someone's getting
food.
poisoned tonight.
Yeah, where it was like, look it up, pink sauce or whatever. But that's not what HyperX is
I
selling.
don't think that's a safe thing to look up.
If you've had your eye on any of the pink variants of HyperX gear, you can save up to 15% off during the month of October using the code HXPN. all capitals, please. HXPN at HyperX.com. Get yourself an elegant white and pink Cloud 2 or a metallic pink Alloy Origin 60 or any of the other pink peripherals on the site. Once again, head over to HyperX.com and get 15% off all pink gaming products with code HXPN in all capitals. That is HXPN. There you go. Everybody, it's all about, their gaming setups on their computers, and every color matches every other color, and they got a whole vibe going. And I don't know, man.
Dragon fruit, honey,
Pepto.
sunflower seed oil, chili, and garlic.
Hello, Blood Ocean. Good to see you, my friend. That's what that sauce is. But that lady was selling it and it's not, she's just bottling it herself and sending it in unrefrigerated. And it's rancid. She's killing people.
Ooh.
I don't think she actually killed anybody, but it's not how you want to order
sauce
food.
safe.
Put
Originally,
shishi
TikTok
in it.
viewers were informed about the sauce's ingredients. Weren't informed about the ingredients, which is why many users called it a mystery sauce. Now, pink sauce bottle. This is as of August. Officially sold out online. Make it clear right away what the main ingredients are. The nutrition label continues to be a mystery, boasting 444 servings of sauce in a bottle at 90 calories a serving. Misspellings in the nutrition label.
Yeah. It was somebody doing their own thing.
Vinegar, Vinger.
Vinger. There's an ingredient called Vinger.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
And ultimately confirming the sauce was not legally fit to sell.
From one wild story to another, this is a crazy story about Splatoon 3. So Splatoon 3 still topping the charts all over the world. That includes Japan. They're eating the game up over there. Streamers are streaming it all the time. But wow, there's something going on over in Japan with streamers and some naughty content.
Oh, my favorite kind of content.
So there's this hashtag that's been being used. That's been
nipple.
used
Yeah,
on
we've heard of it.
Twitter. That basically translates into Splatoon adult content video. And these videos would take the ink coverage on the game map during a match, during a turf war or what have you. And the streamers would green screen that color, and they would replace the color with porn, like a porn video or a porn image. So any streamers watching this would see bits and pieces of a porn video or pornography in general through the green screened ink. And it's got so popular that it started trending on Twitter, and it got so popular that Nintendo had to speak out about it. Nintendo put out a statement and they said, hey, content creators, there are streaming guidelines, and this is definitely not part of the guidelines. And they said, if you keep doing stuff like this, we will take legal action.
Man.
And then furthermore, surprisingly, even YouTube stepped in and they were like, hey, we're with Nintendo on this one. We got our own preferences. We got our own restrictions on nudity and sexual content. Listen, we're into this Splatoon nudity, but we can't show it. Yeah, so YouTube said they have their own policies for nudity and sexual content. This obviously isn't allowed. And they banned 2 big Japanese YouTubers who were doing this. So YouTube's taking it seriously. Nintendo's taking it seriously. So don't do it. If you're going to stream pornography green screened through Splatoon 3, do it at your own leisure. Don't stream it to the world.
Doesn't sound like the
Not gonna lie, I'm sweating a little
a
bit.
company that made their bones with love hotels would do this kind of restriction.
And people just let this slide because of that. Guybone says, Deux rumor is true. Nintendo is against bazooms and butts.
That's
there you
right.
go.
That's right.
There you go.
Once
of course it's
again,
true. Yeah, it's inside
correct.
information. Once again, proven correct. What do we got in North America this week? Let me tell you. We got it. I remember it being a really long list for North America. Yeah, it is. Dragon Ball The Breakers. Don't know what that is? Let me tell you. It's an asymmetric multiplayer online game. 7 regular people versus 1 Dragon Ball hero villain. I guess it's villain. Only villain would make sense. The objective of the regular Joe Schmoes is to escape, whereas the the lone player is supposed to, I want to say, kill them, I guess. It's a cool idea. So basically, it's like Friday the 13th, but it's Dragon Ball. Yes. Also available today. Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 Slime Speedway. What?
Yeah,
TikTok
now.
audio.
Them's Fighting Herds. Do this is for you. You're not going to get it on Switch. I don't fault you for that. But A Plague Tale Requiem comes out October 18th.
I already pre-downloaded it.
Very
on Games
excited for
Pass.
that. Like as it was getting closer, I'm like, I really am looking forward to this game.
You know, I would never because I'm too cheap. But I would love to get it on the PlayStation 5 and play it with the controller, because the first one with the controller.
Oh, is it
had
Game Pass?
Awesome stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the first one, I think I told you, because of the PlayStation 5's controller, whenever the rat hordes were around,
Mhm.
unbelievable. You feel there were rats inside the controller. I can't explain it.
Eat your eyes!
Oh, yeah, I wanted to make a hat out of them so bad.
I'm sure it'll be back for this game. Maybe you will make a hat in the sequel. Airport Flight Administrator Simulator and Air Traffic Sky Airplane Sim plane games. Aquarist. Arcade Archives Assault. Arcade Archives Darius. Atari Mania, which is like over 100 classic Atari games in one package. Beanie. Beeny. So it's a bee. And it's a bee that's so round and fat it can't fly. So what does it do? It bounces all over the place. It has graphics exactly like Donkey Kong Country. It's using that retro, old school, like computer graphics approach. I'm interested. Oh, and I think it's only a $1 actually. Black Widow Looking for Love, not related to Marvel in any way. Blaloon Blalimphia and Blaloon
Did you have too much
Blalimphia
caffeine?
2.
You're making
Blaloon.
that up.
BLALOON BLALYMPIA. Balloon Blalimpia. Balloon Blalimpia.
DD
Gunga,
Mega
Gunga.
Doo-Doo.
Great Gunga, Gunga, Gunga.
Bot.Vink Chess 2. Broken Universe Tower Defense. Bunker Life. Bus Simulator City Ride. Chess Classic board game. Corrupt Political Idol City War Strategy Simulator Craft. Elite Soldier Shooter. Fallen Knight. Fallen Knight looks cool. Fallen Knight looks like a Mega Man game, but you're like a robotic knight. Yes, that's Knight N-I-G or K-I-N-G-H-T.
K-I-N-G.
K-N-I-G-H-T. Sorry. So sorry. Football Cup 2022. Fragments Note Plus. God Damn the Garden. Invocation. The Festival of Souls. Kawaii Solitaire 3-in-1. So that's going to have some kind of anime stuff in it. Let's Play Curling. That's all in capital letters. Loot Box Simulator. RPG Anime Girls. Okay. Mad Experiments Escape Room. My Life. Pet Vet. NASCAR Rivals. Switch exclusive, just like the last NASCAR game. Paradise Marsh. Paradise Marsh. Look that one up. I think that'd be for you, my brain. It's M-A-R-S-H. Paradise Marsh.
How else would you spell marsh?
I wanted to make sure you knew I didn't say March, and I said March. Marsh.
Now, like the word
Marsh,
has lost all
not
meaning.
March. Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. That is a cloud version. Wow. Pill Baby. No idea
Pill
what that is.
Boys.
That's
Pill Boys
right.
Baby. Wait, what was it? What's that?
Paradise Marsh. Nevmo Capsula. Reki. Richman 11. Rush Hour Deluxe. The ultimate traffic jam game. Sorry. I don't think it's your Rush Hour. Sherlock Holmes and the Hound of the Baskervilles.
That would be hilarious.
Space Roguelike Adventure. Star Trek Prodigy Supernova. That is based on the new animated series Star Trek Prodigy. Super Dino. Super Funky Bowling. Temp Zero. The Preschoolers Season 1. The Witch's House MV. Tinhead. That's part of the Cubites Classics collection. Trifox. Undungeon. Validate struggling singles in your area. Virtual Families Cook-Off Chapter 1. Let's go flippin'. War Pips. Winter Games 2023. Witchcrafty.
But
Yum Yum Cookstar. And Isekai Tragic Love. Currybo says nothing on my radar this week.
Really? Not Yum Yum Cookstar even?
Joshua, can you do the duty, please?
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases. Boring.
Whoa!
Thank you, Josh.
Give me that nodding cat.
Yeah, these are the games coming to Europe. The European Switch eShop for the week of August 13th, the year of our Lord 2022.
Bye,
Advent
Red Susan.
calendar.
Sleep well.
Advent calendar. It's, a couple months before the holidays. It's a good time.
All the fun of an advent calendar without the candy in real life.
Atari Mania. I hear that's like 100 Atari games in one package.
It's true.
And it's like legally being sold. It's not just
Yes.
like packaged.
It's
in
not something you buy at a center
A Five
aisle
Below or
mall
something.
kiosk.
Yeah, it doesn't make you feel the
Billboard Classic 8-Ball Pool.
taint. Figured it.
Music by Disaster Piece.
In the March game, yes.
Botvinnik Chess 2. I don't remember the Chess 1 coming out, but okay. I'll just take their word for it. Bus Simulator City Ride. Dragon Ball Breakers. Dragon Ball the Breakers.
Yeah.
So I just like the idea of, somebody who just busts Dragon's balls.
Dragon Ball Busters.
Hey, yo, Dragon, get over here. I'm just busting his balls.
How you done?
Fallen Knight, spelled Knight. I think it might be worth looking into. I think it's like a Mega Man game, but you're a robot knight.
Yes.
Knight, like
You're very
hand
knowledgeable
knight.
about these games.
Fishing ducks.
I don't
These
think you
are,
will stick with that.
I don't know if we're fishing for ducks or these are ducks that go out fishing.
Gotta play the game to find out.
I would find that to be strange. Football Cup, the year of our Lord 2022. Fragments Note Plus. Isekai. Tragic Love. We all know what's going through my head there. Lego Brick Tales.
Bricked up for that one.
A little Lego brick them.
Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. Slime
Brickelodeon.
Speedway.
Yes, Garfield is in it. Yes, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are in it. Yes. What's her name?
SpongeBob in there?
Yeah.
Daria.
What was Hey Arnold?
Kathy?
The girl that loved
Helga?
Helga is in it.
Paradise Marsh. Mom Brain, you might want to look into that. It's
Thank
spelled
you.
Marsh.
Who's the
March.
composer on that?
Disaster Piece.
Disaster Piece.
Polylink Battle Heroes. Pretty Girls Escape. Rush Hour. What's that?
Beauty girls.
Rush Hour Deluxe, the Ultimate Traffic Jam game. Temp Zero, the Battle of Polytopia. Whatever. The Darkest Tales. The Witch's House MV. Tinhead. Try Fox. Validate. Struggling Singles in Your Area. Winter Games, the year of our Lord 2023. And Witchycraft. And the first comment comes from Shillelagh.
Beat out Currybo this week.
I'd say The Darkest Tales is probably the best game release of the week. Football Cup, the year of our Lord 2022, is the worst release from what I've seen of it.
The Darkest Tales. That one is not coming to mind right away. I need it. Oh, yes. I remember this. Mom Brain, look at
Yes.
this. It's a teddy bear
Mm.
on, I want to say like a Metroidvania style adventure. Yes. I remember looking at this and I was intrigued. There you go. That's your
Teddy
European
comes
releases.
alive.
Hey, we got some good news about Nintendo and unions and all that stuff.
Good news.
Nintendo
unions.
The the one game tester that was hired by a, whatever it is, contractor that was working as a game tester for Nintendo, Mackenzie Clifton, they have reached a settlement with Nintendo concerning their union-related labor dispute. She's going to receive $26,000 in back pay and damages. Along with this, Nintendo and Aston Carter will have to post a notice about workers' federally protected rights at the entrance to its product testing department for 60 days. And an email with the exact same information will be sent out to all employees. And in all capital letters, it says stuff like, you are allowed to assemble for a union and all that good stuff. So, Nintendo has said they're thankful that a resolution was reached, ensuring that our working environment remains welcoming and supportive for all our employees and associates. End quote. As far as Miss Clifton, Mr.
Molina?
That's a Family Guy thing. She says this: my original goal behind filing the charge was to show my coworkers at NOA what their rights are and what happens when they choose to exercise them. In that sense, the terms of the settlement are exactly what I hope to see.
Now
So there you
you
go.
are a real hero.
There you go. All's well that ends well, and hopefully it stays well. Shillelagh says there's no mention of the letter of apology she was looking for from Doug Powser. Yes, apparently that was not part of this, but it's a settlement, so she settled for what Nintendo's offering. And hopefully her words are true, because she says it's exactly what she hoped to see. So
I
I'm sure
heard
she didn't
she,
get everything. I'm sure Nintendo didn't get everything they wanted to, but everybody got enough.
But
of
I've
what they
seen
wanted.
everything.
What was that, Nikki Hill?
Nothing.
There's a huge sale going on the Switch right now. It's the try before you buy sale. Why is this a great sale? Because every game included on the list has a demo. So not only is there a huge discount on these games, you can also try it before you buy it. It's live until October 25th. So not a ton of time. But let me just give you some of the games on here that I think are worth your time. Ape Out is on here. 75% off. Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 is 20% off. Box Boy plus Box Girl. Love that franchise.
Box Boy.
30% off. Dragon Quest 9. Perfect time to get it.
DQ9.
30% off.
Well,
Immortals
Metroid.
Phoenix Rising, which some like. Maybe it'll scratch your itch for Breath of the Wild. 75% off that.
That's a deal.
Kirby Fighters 2, 30% off. Here's one. Me, and I always forget his
Amoto.
damn name. The guy from Friends.
Chandler Bing.
No.
Ross.
Mark LeBlanc. David
Joey.
Schwimmer.
Joey Ross.
Matt LeBlanc. Sorry. I don't know.
Mel LeBlanc.
Well, one of those guys. Speaking of voice actors, Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series is 30% off right now. Here's another one I can't recommend highly enough. Make this the best-selling Mega Man game of all time. It is so unbelievably close to hitting that mark. Mega Man 11 is 66% off right now. Metroid Dread, 30% off. Moving Out, another great game, 75% off. Ori and the Blind Forest, 50% off. Pixel Junk Monsters 2, 85% off. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, 30% off. Rayman Legends Definitive Edition, 75% off. Spiritfarer, Mom Brain can vouch for that one, 67% off. Triangle Strategy, 30% off. WarioWare Get It Together, 30% off.
Get it together.
What the Golf, 55% off. Yoshi's Crafted World, 30% off. So many great games in here. And a lot of others that I didn't mention because I haven't played them. Currybus has some good deals. I might finally try Ori and the Blind Forest. Yeah, like I said, all these games have demos, and then you can get upwards of 85% off them. If it is a first-party game, you will only ever get 30% off, but still 30% off. So there you go. Yeah, we're going to do this. Speaking of sales, there's been this thing that people do in a Switch eShop, and it has a term. I didn't know it has a term, but apparently this is what developers call it. What's the term? I'll tell you as soon as I find it in the article. Price tourism is the phrase. What does that mean? Well, in the case of this game, the game is Let's Build a Zoo. It released recently on Switch from publisher No More Robots. They've put out a lot on Switch. If you were to buy the game on the North American eShop, it was priced at $20. But if you went over to the eShop, if you took a what the hell was it called? I just said a price tour to the Argentinian eShop, you could get the game for $1.50. So people are like, "Holy moly, that's the one I'm getting!" And since all Switch games are region free and Argentinian
For
releases
$1.
include English, they were like, "That's the one I'm going for."
And if my grandmother had wheels, she would be a bicycle.
So, of course, the publisher was like, well, this is disappointing. We just put this game out and people are buying it for $1.50 through the Argentinian eShop. But something lovely happened. Because so many people were buying it there, the game started to climb up the eShop charts into the best sellers. Now, there's thousands of games on eShop, but this one kept climbing and climbing and climbing and made it onto the best sellers list that you can see on the eShop. And that didn't say where people were buying it from. So while the developer and publisher lost money on so many copies that were sold at such a discounted price, they ended up making more money because people saw it on the bestsellers list and didn't realize that it was from people buying it in Argentina. And they bought the North American release, which was $20.
Tricked them.
So now it became their best-selling Switch game ever, and it just released. So
It's all about hype.
pretty interesting. And again, that's marketing you don't pay for. It just happened all organically. The publisher and the developer didn't do a damn thing. It just happened. And like I said, they were like, oh, man, our game's getting taken for 80% less than what it usually is. And people are doing price tourism, and then they're like, "Oh wait, this is actually helping us." And oh wait,
Did
now
you know
we made
you
a
can
buttload
play
of money.
Tetris for free on Tetris.com?
You sure can. If you don't want to play,
That was a really great
Let's Build a
story.
Zoo.
Can't say I blame
Let's build a
people
zoo.
for wanting to save $18.50.
I'm not saying listen. My official stance is there is nothing wrong with it. If it is being sold at a discounted price, you buy it for your discounted price. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything illegal.
What rules, you sons of bitches?
And that's it. I got nothing to say. Like, because I'm a weirdo, I would buy the North American version because I would feel bad, and I like supporting developers as much as I can, but I would never fart on somebody's party for getting the game for $1.50, for about $1.50.
Over here farting on people's parties.
Curryboat says,
fart on
I
my
never got
party.
around to making different region accounts for things like this. Glad they saw it as a win. That's a win for Finn.
Nice.
Today the one I saw
that's
today was Melon and Finn smelling a donut, a glazed donut.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
man.
bet Melon gags.
All right, what does Finn do?
I'd eat that donut.
That's what I
Finn-
thought the whole time I was watching it.
I'm gonna-
glazed donut.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
man.
bet Melon gags.
All right, what does Finn do?
I'd eat that donut.
That's what I
Finn-
thought the whole time I was watching it.
I'm gonna say Finn's gonna lick it.
You are correct about Melon. You are incorrect about Finn. There was a
Wow.
headbutt though.
Oh,
I like when he
no.
headbutts it.
But it's all sticky.
And a nice headbutt. And
I know, but-
also,
Finn is not with what he sniffed.
no.
Did he say throw that
He
in the
could
bin?
process it, but he headbutted it. Also,
Melon was on the flip flops?
no, you got your noise today.
No.
Yep.
So, I mean, am I the only one who feels like we've been really missing out on sniff noises?
No, I don't mean sniff noises. I mean the
Oh.
brain noise when
Because I feel
Finn
like
stands up.
if Melon and Finn be smelling, then why don't we be listening to their sniffs?
Oh, get like an ASMR.
Send a
kitty
guy a
sniff.
comment.
I mean, there's really very few things I like more in the world than the sound of a cat sniff.
Oh, this would have been the perfect.
I can't wait till you're. I know you've been busy, but I can't wait till you're ready to play Stray, because when you get that controller in your hand, in your lap, and it's purring, it's.
I mean, I experienced that. I
unbelievable.
did experience that.
I gotta tell you, I've had a pretty difficult week, and
She wanted to squeeze a cat,
all I want is a cat to like sit with.
so I
like,
gave her
that's-
Miss Kitty.
Yeah. So now I think I'm gonna have to go to Tabby's place.
A friend
like,
of
on
ours.
Sunday.
Squeeze a cat, not get a cat.
A friend of ours
No,
To sit with the
probably,
cats.
Yes.
probably texted you about it, but like is trying to get rid of a cat like through a friend from work. And
Nope.
okay.
Don't
and,
even look at me.
and I was like I'm not
I was
ready
like,
for
I
I
was
was like
like-
I'm not ready for an animal yet, and I was kind of hoping to get a dog when it happens, so I was like, no thanks. And then I was like, do you have any photos, like and she said photos, and I was like, don't, I shouldn't have asked for the
Yeah.
photos because he's really handsome cat. And I was like, still no, but why did I do that to myself?
Yeah.
I'll sit in your lap if you.
There you
really
go.
need
That's
something.
nice.
I could purr.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Moving on. Speaking of great noises,
Mom brain ain't with
Uh,
Nikki Hill. sniff.
Nikki Hill, can you give me the name of that actor again
What are we talking about?
Which actor?
from the Mario movie?
Chris
Keenan,
Pratt.
Keenan Michael Keel.
Keegan Michael Peele. He talked about his work as Toad in the upcoming movie, and as I said earlier, he revealed that he will have a little bit of a musical number in it. He talked a variety about the film, and he said, "I got to improvise a song in Super Mario Brothers, which was an absolute blast. That was just a stick of fun. That whole thing. I don't know what that means. I've never heard that phrase, but I'm glad he had fun." Continuing, he says, "I was working on the voice with my partner and trying to find the voice through the internal journey of the character." And then with the directors, we sprinkled some things in. We moved it around. There was something about the timbre. I always thought it was timbre. I wanted it higher and higher and higher. And that's where we ended up. And I'm really happy with where we ended up. I like his voice in the trailer. I like it.
Do you mind if I ask what the scoff was for?
I love video games. Nintendo's very important to me. I was working on the voice with my partner and trying to find the voice through the internal journey of the character. Are we gonna
So we've got on one end someone who's, I mean, I know it sounds like BS, but like it sounds like he's trying really hard. And then on the other end, you got Bob Hoskins who's like, I used to play King Lear. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, listen, I'm not mad at it, but I'm like, I think we're speaking a little too eloquently about the Mario movie here.
Daniel Day-Lewis as Bowser Jr.
I mean, I appreciate.
I eat your mushroom.
I appreciate if an actor is gonna not just want to show up and perform a voice that they heard on a system.
Listen, I'm not knocking the guy for what he said. I think
he's
it's
not just
great that
trying
he's
to
taking the
mimic
role
it. He's
seriously.
trying to
he's trying to
get
do
into
his
the
own
character.
thing. Yes, I very much appreciate that. I just think it's funny.
It's like how much
if
can
you took
talk
any of
about
that line out without him saying Toad, and you'd be like, "Who is he talking about?" and you name a whole bunch of big roles, and you're like, "No, Toad from the Mario Brothers game."
Yeah, that is funny to think about because when they ask Charles Martinet how he came up with the Mario voice, he doesn't have this romantic story about it. It's just like I went in and I was like, oh, pizza pie, and it's like, oh, okay, so you just winged it.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
got it.
Currybo says, I can't imagine a song by Toad to be kind to the ears, but we'll see how Keegan-Michael makes it work soon. Well, his voice in the trailer gives you a good idea. You could have a song with that voice, no problem, I think.
Thanks for a picture.
He's the voice I like the most in the trailer. That was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I'm the best.
Oh, he was. You are the best.
Not even close.
And then finally, guys, our last top story. If you want to play Nintendo Switch Sports Online today, you can't. And who knows when you're going to be able to. There was a version update for the game. And unfortunately, this update has made a big problem. For whatever reason, this bug causes a crash to happen during pre-match loading screens. And that impacts both offline and online modes. So Nintendo is no longer pushing the version 1.2.1 update out. They've yanked it. And online play is suspended for now because it simply won't work because of this bug. So they're looking into fixing it. Hopefully they have a fix soon. But yeah, you're kind of screwed with this right now, unfortunately. And that sucks for me because my game updated last night. So I guess I won't be playing. Kirby says, "Oh wow, that kind of bug is very unlike Nintendo." I agree. I thought the exact same thing. I don't know what happened there, but must have been some sort of weird situation. I would imagine it'll be fixed by this coming week, maybe this weekend if we're lucky.
A game that
but
is rushed is bad forever.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Unless you update it with a patch. Mom Brain, what have you been playing?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nikki Hill, what have you been playing?
I played Solitaire, and I also played.
Hell yeah!
I finished Carrion.
Hey,
ooh, you finished. Nice.
By the way, chat, I forgot to do this last week. I'm doing it again now. Tell me what you're playing. I will get back to it and read it.
Tell me what you think.
But
of
Nikki
me.
Hill, carry
I'm
on,
gonna be
please.
completely honest. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I had to look up maps and kind of just use that to get around because that game there's like a lot of ground to cover and I was never going to remember that.
Okay.
But I got to every containment vessel thing.
Hey.
And
well, you're a guy that covered like every inch of the map in Metroid Dread too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean I tried to. And so yeah. Well, not everything because I didn't collect every single thing in that game.
Yeah,
there's a lot that I just quit on because there was no way.
Ain't no
for
way.
a guy like me. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Although I kind of felt like the ending just ended. Like there's no like real like build up or anything. It was just like done. But I enjoyed it, and now I'm gonna wait until the winter months to play Carrion: Greatest Time of the Year.
Oh,
because there's a DLC for it, or
yeah,
Cool,
it's short. I think it's only like 30 minutes or so. But
well, congratulations, Nikki Hill. I'm glad you played it.
Thanks.
Good for you. Is that it?
I bought and I started something else, and I didn't even get 5 minutes in before I kind of got stuck, and I was like, I'm gonna put this away for right now. I'm a little upset that I put it away, but I put it away.
Hey,
Silt.
You can
Silt.
Always, you can always get back to it.
I'm going.
Silt. Oh, there was an update
It's an
for Silt today.
underwater. Oh, okay.
Yeah, black and white. Yeah, I'm from. We have a review of it. I didn't review it, but the review was good. Yes, I was thinking. I talked about Silt today, and I couldn't remember why. I was going to say it was on sale, but it's not. There's an update available.
Well, that's a shame because it's also like $15.
Do.
That's me.
Hi, Still Diver. What have you been playing?
I played some Sea House G's to pass the time, little Mancala and 50 other games.
Mancala.
And I played. So I started playing this game on Games Pass called Moon Scars, and it's a Metroidvania. By all accounts, I should have quit this in the first 5 minutes. It's a very challenging game, and for some reason, there was something about the game that made me do a very undo-like thing.
I love this journey.
Push through this, right? So it's a Metroidvania. If you just looked at it, you'd be like, oh, this is like Castlevania through and through, right? So it looks kind of like Symphony of the Night a little bit. Even the character looks like Alucard.
Dracula backwards.
That's right, Nikki.
It's got
Very
like
good.
it's got like a little I don't know, like Diablo 2, but better than graphic like hint to it. And there's parts of it that remind me of like Simon's Quest, and there's parts of it that remind me of like even like Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, even in a way, but like
Horsehead enemies.
But like nothing like that. Nothing like those games. Well, nothing like that game.
Does
really,
it have Bagoo?
It doesn't, but like
does it have bazooms?
Because like of characters like Bagoo and Error and stuff, I feel because the story, I'm all over the place talking about this right now. But anyways, so the story in this game is very convoluted. I couldn't tell you what's happening. So the story is like a real downer for me because I don't know what's happening, and it's not explaining it very well. And the story, it's not told very easily. And because it's a Metroidvania, you know, the story doesn't flow unless like you're really doing well. And like I was kind of forced because of the challenge of the game to like grind for a good like hour and 15 minutes right in the beginning of the game. And I had to do that in order to buy these two items, and it made the game so much more enjoyable because like it's a very frustrating game. It's like a Souls-like game at first, and you're so weak. The enemies take a lot of hit points from you, and I had to Google what's going on. It's kind of a rare game, so like not a lot of people are talking about it. But
It just came out too, so
I had to Google it, and somebody was like, "Trust me, grind and buy these two items, and like the whole game changes for you." And it was true, and I started really getting into the game, and it's got this. The music's not catchy, but it's got this such an atmosphere to it, and the whole game is like a mood. It's almost too much. Like because it's the time of year and I'm in the mood for it, like I'm down with it. But like it's a heavy game. Like whereas Castlevania, you know how it's like colorful and the music's catchy and like it's spooky themes, but it's not a spooky
like a
game.
castle has like jazzy music on.
You know, but it's very colorful. This is like kind of drab but still beautiful, and it looks great in motion. And the gameplay is you have to rely heavily on parrying, which is why it was difficult at first. But then like you come to like once you start getting used to it and getting real good, then you come to kind of love it. So I was really, really into this game for a few days, and I was moving right along, and like a couple of times the game quit on me. One time I told you, RMC, it was like this crazy boss battle. We each had one hit point left, and we were jumping in the air at each other, swinging at the same time. And the second I hit him and killed him, the game quit.
God.
It was like it was meant to be. It was crazy. Like the second I touched him. But anyway, so it wasn't a big deal because I loaded up the game and just fought him again and won. But like I sent RMC this video of where my game is now. I try to load up the game, and the game quits on me. First of all, there's like little mirrors that you save at.
What happened?
So when you load up the game, you usually start at a mirror. When I load up the game, it starts me like underneath this gigantic gear that's about to crush me, and it gives me like a second to get out of the way. Now, it's
Metal
not a
Gear.
problem because it's plenty of time now that I know when I load up the game what it's going to look like to get out of the way. But the game plays for a second and quits. And I showed you,
I
I must have done it 15 times because I was so frustrated. Because I played for like, I don't know, I want to say I played for like 5 hours. 6
Have you tried
hours.
going into the game, like loading it up and then pausing right away?
You know, I don't think I have.
Or like hit a map button or something? That maybe
don't
that'd work.
You know, I don't think I have, but the down and the jump button are unresponsive when I try to do that. So maybe they'll work. I could load it up. Yeah, I could load it up and try again. But so it was really, really sad and frustrating because I got into this game and I was starting to have like a lot of really good kind of feels about it and get into it and I was getting good at it. I mean, I couldn't tell you about the story, like I said, but whatever, like that wasn't necessarily why I was playing it.
So the game itself is good. It just needs a patch.
It needs
badly
because I'm stuck and I was like, I don't want to start over because I grinded. I had to grind for like over an hour and I was like, and then what happens if I grind again and play again and then this happens again?
Yeah.
So it was a
happened
real
to me.
Oh,
Like
Ori.
the glitch part
Owner
happened,
Shredder.
not the shutdown part, but it. Yeah, and I was playing Ori, and it was on RMC's Xbox, I guess, at the time. So like I put in over 6 or 7, I don't even know how many hours at their house, and I went into a door, and for some reason I went into the door and like I was not on the actual platform. I was underneath it and I fell, and then like every time it restarted there,
oh no.
it was in that same spot and I could never get out of that loop. And so like but I ended up playing it once it was actually available on the Switch. I bought it.
Yeah.
It was that Xbox that was the problem.
Yeah, well, I'm playing this on the Xbox. Who knows? But yeah, it's frustrating
I
when you
feel your pain,
because it's a Souls-like game too. When you die, you have to go back to your body and like get your, all the stuff that you've earned that round. And a lot of times, your body will be in like like your grave is what you have to go, and it's like in a weird position, and you can't even get there.
From your grave.
You got hit, like that final blow that killed you was like in
Yeah.
a spot while you're in the air.
Or maybe you died, maybe you fell on spikes and died. So then the grave's in the spikes and now you can't get it. And it's going to be on your map until you die again. Like
Right.
and that frustrates me too. So there's like little bugs like that. But yeah, overall, like that. I was thinking of that game Deedlit, Lodos, Revenge of the Lodos.
Record of the
or
Lotus
whatever.
War.
Yeah. So
What?
That game is
We both of us just made up a bunch of words.
it's like a Metroidvania. It looks just like Castlevania, basically, and it's like very colorful, and it's very like the music's kind of like at least it's catchy in that.
That
one part.
music annoys me so much because it sounds like Symphony of the Night, but the compositions just
Right.
aren't there.
But like this is doing something like it's taking kind of a Symphony of the Night, Castlevania 2 like dark broodingness to it, but it's making it so somber and it takes itself real seriously, and it's dark and again, I don't know what's going on. The characters
I've
are
seen
all
the trailers.
weird.
I'm
There's-
interested, but hearing like the issues you're having, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll wait until a patch comes out.
Yeah.
I'm always in the
so-
mood for a Metroidvania. So
Yeah, this one's really good, man, and like I said, it's not it doesn't feel as game like. It feels like somber and dark, and I hate using that as a descriptor, because it's all you hear is it's dark, but it's got that, I don't know.
sounds like it's got a blasphemous vibe to it, which is another Metroidvania, dark and gruesome. That one in particular.
I hadn't played that, and
that might be up your alley if you're liking this.
I heard from you and Kirby that it was really challenging, and when I was playing this for the first hour, I was like, I bet you this is like that other game because this is a challenge, and I'm not really enjoying it. And I don't know what forced me to push through. I think I was just intrigued by like the feels that the game was giving me. Again, when I felt a weird rush of Zelda 2 for whatever reason, and I can't explain it obviously because I've tried here and it's inexplicable. I just I don't know. I was like, I want to play this game. I'm enjoying this, and I'll put in the time, and I'll Google it and find out what do I have to do. So, I don't know if I'll go that far. That's nice of you to say. But anyways, that's what I played this week. Thanks for listening. And yeah, that's all. I just want to say one last thing about Backbone from last week. That detective game where you play as the raccoon. The only thing I forgot to mention was, as much as I like the game, it didn't feel like you would choose one of like 3 dialogue options when you were talking to people, but it didn't feel like that impacted the game whatsoever. And when I looked it up later, I found out that it doesn't. So that's one of those things where it's like, after all said and done, I still enjoyed the experience, but it was almost like, okay, I was on a very strict like roller coaster ride. You know, I didn't really have any say in what was happening here.
Yeah, that's upsetting. I did ask the chat what they played, so I'll tell you. Alternate Liz is playing Animal Crossing and Splatoon 3. Tentavision says they've been playing the original Sonic games for the first time. Oh, for the first time you're playing Sonic. Wow, what ones in particular? Langquist says, I'm playing Splatoon 3 and Steve Jackson's Sorcery. Backseat Studios, hello, says Breath of the Wild, mainly collecting Korok poop. Steel Diver says, playing Steins Gate, Linear Bound, Phenogram on PC. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and plugging away at some Ubisoft games. Ubisoft. Far Cry 6 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Malik Halo says they started Guardians of the Galaxy, one of my favorite games from, was that this year? Earlier this year?
Sure, why
Love
not?
that game. Kufu says, I've been playing Nintendo Switch Sports to unlock the Halloween gear.
Where are you reading all this?
The Discord?
Oh, what have you been playing, RMC? What? I forgot to ask you.
Oh, thank you. I asked them what they played, and I promised them I would
cool.
read it.
Oh, okay, yeah, read them.
TKO
was a promise kind of thing.
TKO said F-Zero X on the N64 expansion and Super Tennis on the Super Nintendo expansion. I think that if I missed what you said, tell me. Oh, here we go. Spaniel. Hello, Spaniel. They say replaying Golden Sun 1 and 2. Oh, excellent games. Rex says they're leaving. Goodbye, Rex. What have I been playing? Well, I don't know what to tell you because I didn't play Fortnite this week at all.
Rare.
Yeah, I know, because I've been extra busy. I've been covering shifts on the site that I don't normally have to cover because people are not around. So I've been extra busy and no Fortnite. And the only things I played this week, I am not allowed to tell you I played. So I suck basically.
Secrets.
I can't tell you. The only thing I can tell you is you'll hear about one of them on Monday. I can tell you that.
Monday.
But like I've been pouring every hour into one of these games in particular to make sure I'm ready for a thing that happens next week. So, and you will want to hear about it. That's all I got. It's not what it's something different.
It's
looking
not,
at you, Nikki.
It's not legendary, is what he said.
But anyway, we got questions.
Give us the questions.
Oh, wait a minute. Hello, the ranting robots. Good to see you. They're playing Metroid Dread. And Video Game Guru is playing Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak.
Oh.
All right.
People are liking that game.
Questions. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com. That is goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com. Questions can be about Nintendo, video games in general, or whatever the hell you want. This question comes from Ted. Mom Brain, I need you here for this question.
Ted from Werewolf by Night.
I feel like you're gonna have something to say here. Ted asks, are you a fan of raisins? What about raisins and stuff like cookies or snack cakes? As a kid, I couldn't stand them, but now I've warmed up to them, though the verdict is still out on those little boxes of raisins. Also, shout out to Craisins. All right.
I think 100% of what that question was, Ted.
Great question.
Agree with all of that. Everything you said. And the shout out to Craisins at the end, all of that. They're sugary, but hey.
It's not a but.
9 times
They're
out of
sugar.
10,
but I eat them.
9 times out of 10, I'm saying F raisins. I will tolerate them in an oatmeal cookie. They're okay in an oatmeal cookie. I do like Raisinets.
What
but
about raisins?
Come on, it's chocolate.
Raisins in a cereal.
Yes, I'll tolerate
yeah,
them in a
yeah.
cereal. I prefer dates,
Yeah.
but I like raisins in a
dates.
cereal. That's
I
fine.
prefer dates.
But
to
yeah,
raisins.
don't give me like a chocolate chip cookie with raisins or a sugar cookie.
Yeah, you
That's
know,
not even.
and
a
as a
thing.
kid, I couldn't even eat them in a cookie, but now I've grown where I can eat them. And like, if there's chocolate chips in there, I'm not gonna be happy about it, but I'll eat it. You know? And it's
Yeah,
like,
I vividly remember as a kid my parents having like the little boxes of raisins, and I
Oh,
used to
yeah.
get them in school lunch sometimes. But like that was my go-to when I was a kid when I was really hungry and we had nothing. I'd like open a
yeah.
cabinet. In the back was like an old plastic wrap box of raisins. I'm like,
Here we
guess
go.
I'll eat this.
And when we were kids, they were bigger. The boxes of raisins. Now they're like these tiny,
they're
tiny,
real small, right?
and
Because I realized people don't like raisins.
and they're fun in theory
No.
as a kid. You're like,
Oh, you're giving them
little
out on
box of
Halloween? That
raisins."
kind of fun?
My mom would do
Yeah,
that.
I know.
I like a craisin a
I'm
great
not a
deal.
craisin fan.
Oh, I love craisins.
I'll take a straight up raisin over a craisin.
I don't mind a raisin in an oatmeal raisin cookie, although I'd prefer a craisin. But fine.
I mean, there's lots of other stuff I'd rather have in an oatmeal cookie, but a raisin, at least it's expected. There's a chance you're going to get a raisin, but
yeah,
I don't want a raisin in a muffin. Do they do that? Raisin
yeah, like a
muffins.
raisin bran muffin.
Get out of here.
I'm okay with that too. I just don't think I'd sit down and be like, "Ooh, give me a handful of raisins."
I'm
and I
awfully
don't
hungry. Do you have any raisins?
I don't like
Yeah.
Raisinets, but as a kid, I because my
Raisinets,
parents,
I'll
my
eat
mom
the
was
hell
like
out
a
of.
little bit crazy about like food
A little
and
bit
like
craisin.
I would get yogurt covered raisins as candy.
Ooh, those are
And,
good.
and
Candy.
I don't mind a
I like
Yogurt
raisin.
and raisins.
Yeah, trail mix or something.
Yeah.
Yogurt can go sit on a rock for all I
And I
care,
like
but
raisins
that's
in oatmeal.
A different topic.
I like putting craisins in yogurt.
Oh my
my
god.
Yeah.
Nikki
definitely.
Hill, we didn't hear what you feel about raisins.
I'm not mad at them.
Fair enough.
I'll,
None but love for
I mean, I don't like invite them into my house necessarily, but if they show up,
Why
I'll
would
eat
you
'em.
say
I'm
that?
down.
Ted, excellent question. Josh, your thoughts on raisins? Hell yeah, or
Moving on.
I got you, Josh.
Ooh, but what about, according to Roth, the California raisins?
Oh well, yes. I'm not going to eat them. I'm going to be entertained by them.
But if you could bite into
I
one,
watched
I
that-
bet it would be satisfying.
No, they're like old,
Like a prune.
Like
You know
old
what?
and
I love
dusty.
prunes.
I used to watch that cartoon. I loved those commercials, man.
I have
I
a
heard
thing
it through
about
the grapevine,
prunes
baby.
because of
Whoa!
just prune juice.
Now did
And
that?
so like the like I don't know the last time I've eaten a prune, and I might really like it.
I love the texture
It's
of a
just
prune.
like I get nervous that if I eat this prune, I'm going to be running to the bathroom.
You're in the bathroom all the time anyway.
You know, I can't remember ever having tried a prune.
Oh, let's do it tonight.
next
Are they
week.
like dates?
Next week.
Because I enjoy
They're
dates, but is it like
They're not.
They're
texture or anything like that?
They're
or-
wet though, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're like
kinda-
if dates were wet and
Yeah.
like slimier inside.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I don't
The
like
texture
them.
seems
What is a
kinda
prune?
A
strange.
date
Plum?
is
Dried
great.
plum?
Yeah,
date
dried
is
plum.
great, but
Dried apricots, I love. Dried mango, I adore.
California raisins. Did they actually increase sales in raisins? You think?
I bet.
Guarantee you.
Or
Although, why
soul
is the
music?
Sunmaid
A lot more soul
gal
music
still
and
on the box? Because you would think that she
Is
would have
she?
been. Yeah, I think so.
Look it up.
Is that one of those weird
Why?
like
She's not showing
Berenstain
any
Bears
boobs or anything.
situations?
Hello. I said, why would
No.
she be taken off?
Well, I'm saying she should be taken off and replaced with the California raisins because I'm gonna guess that would have sold more raisins on site.
I don't know. Sex sells.
Are you trying to say the California raisins aren't sexy? I mean, she's a, I'm sorry. The Sun-Made Raisin lady is nice looking, but that hat is dumb.
Yeah, it's like a Holly
Look at the
Hobby
big,
hat, right?
stupid hat.
Yeah.
We get it. You're in the sun. We get it.
Do you want to tell everybody about our raisin?
Mom Brain made a raisin out of a grape
Well,
by
we don't
dropping
know
it.
if it was me.
Who eats grapes?
It could have been Julie.
Mom Brain dropped a grape behind a couch years and years ago at our apartment, and we didn't know about it until we moved. And when we went to move, we found a raisin.
It was like still attached to the stem too, so it must have like whatever. And yeah, we were like, "Holy
How's it get
crap!
behind
This
the
is a
couch?"
raisin!" Like
That's amazing.
it was pretty exciting.
That's a raisin.
I have a friend that has a vivid memory of being a young boy, and walking through the kitchen and seeing what he thought was a raisin on the ground, and it was a dead fly, and he picked it up and he ate it.
Oh,
and he
why would
remembers
you-
it vividly.
How much you must really like raisins to see a raisin on the ground and be like, I'm taking that and eating it right away.
What, did he
After
do,
he
throw it
put it
away?
in his mouth, he was like, "This tastes gross," and he spit it out. Like, can you
And it
imagine?
flew away.
And you
picking
wouldn't have
up
like really looked if it was on the floor. You would really give it a second. You wouldn't just be like,
That's a
"Ooh," in my
dainty
mouth.
pickup too, to not like
Yeah.
squish
Right?
the fly in your fingers.
Yeah, I don't
Didn't
know.
want to get his fingers dirty. He
He's
was
a
picking up
child.
food off the floor.
He's a
That's true.
child.
I mean, we have a friend who had, speaking of grapes,
Oh.
I don't know
had a
what
little
we're
bit of a
talking-
grape
Big
juice.
grapes,
A-
you
a
know.
Oh,
problem with
Luke's
some
grape juice story, yeah.
I thought you
Uh,
were gonna say about a friend of ours whose kid had a empty box of raisins and filled it with something else and gave it to another kid at school.
What is this?
Is that true?
Filled it with deer poop and gave it to another kid and got in
Give it to
trouble.
the fly kid. He'll eat it up.
Can't believe anything.
Great question, Ted. Great conversation. Guy Bones, was that someone here? Guy Bones has a question, and they sent it through Patreon. Mom Brain, did you know you could join Patreon?
Where?
Patreon.com.
For how
For
much?
For $1. Hey, Pod Crew, what is currently your phone wallpaper? Mine is the Polaris pattern from the game Control.
Wallpaper is
What
the inside, right? Not
is
the lock
your
screen.
phone wallpaper? We, you know what? Because we're that kind of show, I'll allow lock screen as well. So.
Well, my lock screen is just a picture of like a lake, but my
Did you take that picture?
Yeah.
Okay, very nice.
But
You're
then,
a
but
great
then my
photographer.
wallpaper is my dog.
Is it a nice crisp picture? It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a
Aw.
little blown up. It's not bad though.
Blown out?
I'm talking, old people on their phones are like, I got a picture of my daughter, and it's like a low res, like
Get outta
zoomed in
here.
picture.
Mm.
Tell me that my picture is blown out.
I said, well, let me get a closer look.
Looks great. I mean, it's also just
It's
the
not,
phone.
I'm not saying the dogs, but no, this is a very high quality picture. This is great.
It's a
I take it
boomer
back. I
picture.
take it back.
Boomer
It is a
wallpaper.
boomer picture, but yes. Who wants to go next?
Just
I'll go.
It is. It is.
I'll go.
It's not wrong. It is.
Just
My lock
kidding.
screen is Rick Steves riding a bicycle
Oh,
in
nice.
front of the
Amazing.
Eiffel Tower.
Who gave you that?
You did.
That's
That is
correct.
So good.
And
Should that have been the picture?
Oh,
my wallpaper is Crazy Colonel's
Man,
drawing of Manch.
That's my
Oh, that's
laptop
why. So
wallpaper.
mine is a picture of my dog, so that's a boomer.
Listen, if you go with a real picture of someone or something in your family, it's a boomer picture. I'm not saying it's bad. It's a boomer picture. It is.
Gotcha.
Do you want to go?
Do.
Beta. That's subprimal. So
my cousin's been obsessed with
Yeah.
Primal and Subprimal.
Yeah,
My cousin,
me
for the
too.
first time, listened to the H3 podcast, and the one he listened to was the Liver King. So he learned
Oh
all
my
about Primal
God.
and Subprimal.
You know,
So
he's-
now when we're playing Fortnite, it'll be like Shield Keg. That's Subprimal.
yeah, I love that.
He
Like,
called his daughter's boyfriend subprimal.
I love
That's
that.
a joke. That's a joke.
Yeah, no.
But
that's
why?
amazing.
What was the reason?
He was like allergic to something or like
That's-
couldn't eat
yeah,
something.
no, that's subprimal.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
it's
wait.
Yeah, it was a
it's
joke,
really
like
great.
to his face, like they were all together.
yes, they were
but-
joking.
I can't wait till you listen to that episode so we could talk about it.
I'm
But,
getting there.
But yeah, it's the guy's. He's full of BS, but like it was an entertaining episode, definitely. Anyways, my background is an artist's rendition of Tifa on the water tower and from Final Fantasy VII. But I
Have
put it
you
in
had
black
that
and white.
for a while?
I have, yeah. It used to be in color, but since the new
Okay.
operating system came out, I doctored it up and made it black and white
Nice.
stuff. But
Your customization there with your font and all that is nice too.
yeah,
I
I
like it.
like that they finally have a few options.
What's your wallpaper? Is it lock screen and wallpaper?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Oh,
the
I
inside, it's
gotcha, I
like a
gotcha.
blurred
Okay.
version of it, so you can't. It's just that's it.
That's
it. And that's all, man.
I have official Celeste artwork on my lock screen, and on my wallpaper I have something I've kept this tradition for a very long time. My wallpaper is Haruko from Fooly Cooly. I've just had Fooly Cooly wallpaper on my phone for decades. There's nothing that like tickles my fancy like the artwork for Fooly Cooly, and
Like
that's
the
just-
butt of that girl on the motorcycle.
That's
that series means so much to me too that I just I always go back to Fooly Cooly. Like there's stuff that I've switched in there every once in a while, but there's either lock screen or wallpaper is Fooly Cooly related. So that's what I got. Mr. Rogers on Mom Brain's Apple Watch. That's the Apple Watch face. Want to see if anybody dropped their stuff into the. Lanquins is great. He says, I have a low res zoomed in picture of one of my cats making a funny face, and it's pretty good.
Really
that's good.
That's low res enough that it's more deep fried. Oh, look, the California raisins are in the chat. All right. Let's do music, Mom Brain. Did you know that you could send in music to us here at the
For
GoNintendo
$1.
podcast through goninpod@gmail.com?
Where?
And it's goninpod@gmail.com. Please put music in the title. I
Music.
see you guys continuing to keep us above the 200 mark. Thank you very much. Put music in the title. Load those up with whatever songs you want from games. And the game has to have been on a Nintendo platform in some way, shape, or form. Virtual console, original release, compilation, whatever. It doesn't matter. And we are looking for the original songs. We don't want somebody's remix or something like that. But thank you for sending in songs. I love music trivia. You guys have been killing it.
I love it.
Now let's do some music.
I got music. You want to hear it?
You want to hear it?
Oh. Is that what I sound like?
Nikki Hill, just remember, don't look at my computer.
I'll try not to.
Oh, by the way, Kirby wanted to be here, but he had to work. I should have said that at the start of the show.
Kirby,
Sorry.
we speak your name.
He said he was busy eating raisins.
Ooh, excellent. All
Sounds like him.
right, here comes our first little ditty.
Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low.
Gotcha.
We just got rickrolled.
You son of a bitch.
Look at that. Here goes nothing. First song comes to us from. You looked at me like I did it.
I can't confirm. I think it was me. It might have been you. It was me, yes.
Spaniel 53.
Are you going to perform it for us, Mom Brain?
There's probably an ad. No, there's no ad. Ghost Trick.
No.
I knew that. It wasn't.
Calm down, Bill. We're almost done. Switch, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Is this Luigi's Mansion?
I got nothing. I really don't even have a
It's a
guess.
good one. It's definitely a good one. Are we giving up?
I'm going to give up. Yeah, I honestly don't know.
Man, it's a good game. Like, we should know it kind of thing.
No, you shouldn't know, but it's a good game.
You know
It's
it.
not that you shouldn't. It's just you wouldn't.
You know it?
Animal
I know
Crossing.
it.
Beacon Pines.
No.
Is it a word like a picture
Nope.
search thing?
Go
It's
ahead.
a
What
guess.
is it?
Stardew Valley.
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
Spirits Eve Festival song.
Never played Stardew Valley. I know it's hugely popular, but farming stresses me out. Crop dusting.
It's not. I mean, it is about farming, but it's not like all that farm heavy.
Maybe one day I'll give it a try. I know so many people love that game. I've never gotten into like the Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, Stardew Valley side of
Harvest
things. And that's such a
Moon.
popular genre right now. I am interested in Harvestella though. So
All right. This one comes from Jess I. Just got to get through the ads.
Jess, I want to hear your song. And it starts right now. Oh, wow. I know this.
Is it?
This is a Metroid
You have a guess? Guess what one?
I said Metroid.
Oh, you want me? It's Super Metroid.
Super Metroid.
Super Metroid
I knew it.
on the Super Nintendo.
Knew it.
Great
Difficult
job.
game.
That was from Jess I, Super Metroid. And here's a little jibbity jam from Ask Me.
Every time. Is it a portable?
Yeah.
3DS?
Nope.
DS?
Nope.
What? GBA?
Yep.
Minish Cap.
Nope.
Is it first party?
Nope.
Wow.
Final Fantasy 3, 6, 4.
Final Fantasy on GBA. That's a tough one.
Tactics.
Oh, advanced.
Yeah.
Huh?
Great job, guys.
Oh.
Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Snow dancing in the schoolyard.
Wow.
And that was from Ask Me.
Good job. You pulled that one out of nowhere.
Out of my butt.
My bad.
That's where all the good stuff comes from.
This one comes from Alien Boy VA.
Hey, there we go.
Here it comes.
Alien Boy, thank you for sending in the tips you send in from time to time. Not money tips, news tips.
Just the tips.
Just the tips, please. And here we go.
Sonic.
No.
Not a bad game.
Is it a
Tony
Guitar
Hawk's
Hero?
Pro Skater.
Nope.
Guitar Hero or something?
No.
Rock. What was that other game?
Huh?
Rock band?
What did you say where she was like,
No, I wasn't. really.
Guitar Hero.
Elite Beat Agents?
Nope.
What system?
GameCube.
Odama.
No.
Dave Mira BMX.
No.
Ship Grind Radio.
No.
Radio Future.
No.
Crazy Taxi.
Nope.
Got that vibe, but not Offspring. At least I don't think this is Offspring.
Beautiful
What?
Joe.
No.
Franchise?
No.
Sound like anything you've ever heard of?
No.
It's a game that used the bongos or something. Song about jamming. So music related.
It is a song about jam.
Is the game a music game of some sort?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
DDR.
I'm gonna guess it's a game about like skateboarding.
Yes, Tony Hawk.
1080 snowboarding.
No.
Razor Scooter.
Chip Muller.
No.
Go ahead, Wheel. Skitchin.
Go Hypergrind.
I remember the name.
It's got like a
played
wolf in like Jenkos, sagging his pants on the cover.
Like a wicked cup of cocoa.
Okay.
It was the early 2000s. It was a weird time.
Yeah. This one comes from Storbus
Storvis Corbin.
Gorbis. I just got
who says, "Hi, here's some lovely music for your lovely podcast."
Wow.
Let me just make sure
It will be lovely if we get it correct.
it would be lovely.
Let the bodies at the floor.
And here you go. She real crunchy.
Damn a crunchy. Game Boy or Game Boy?
Game Boy.
I like these songs where it sounds like the speaker is in pain.
I got no clue what this is, but I like it. Licensed.
I don't think so.
Franchise.
No.
Oh boy. I'm just trying to pick a random Game Boy game from obscurity.
Mole Mania.
I can't even think of anything. I don't know. Go ahead.
It is Revenge of the Gator or Pinball Revenge of the Gator
Yeah,
in
that
Europe.
pinball game. We'll do one more. Never played that. I remember the cover. I like pinball games.
Oh god.
Just one more.
This song comes from our friend Anastasia for Halson.
Give us something good. We need to end on a high note.
Give us something easy.
It's got samples. Could be early 2000s as well. Oh, got rap jazz flute. What system is this?
This is Wii and 3DS.
License.
No.
Francis. Is
Don't
it
ask me.
a property that first existed outside of video games? Okay. Then it is not licensed.
Come on. That should be giving it away.
What?
That should give it away. This should be giving it away.
Spyro.
No.
We music. All you do.
This should give it away?
That should have, that little, like I would have been like,
Is it The Sims?
yeah,
Yeah, I felt that Sims vibe.
right?
So what is it?
Ooh,
My
it makes me
Sims
feel
or The
nostalgic,
Sims
like,
or?
woo. The Sims 3.
Yeah.
Um,
You're right. I got that. It had that. There's that certain Sims vibe. It didn't start out like that, but we got
oh,
there.
Gosh, I remember sitting on the computer in the family room.
Yeah, I remember putting people in the pool and taking a ladder away and building a house with all of our friends and forcing two of them to kiss. Yeah, I remember that. It's good times.
It was good,
Good times. Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com. Put
Oh.
music in the title. Thank you very much. That was fun. 6 out of 9. Do.
As always.
Did you get anything for us this week?
We certainly did.
Oh.
Juicy news.
Ooh, juicy newsies.
Juicy roomies. Ladies and gentlemen, Deux
Ladies and gentlemen.
Views. It's never news. Rumor of the week, starring Dew Michaels. So, ladies and gentlemen, we know that Halloween's coming up, and set your clocks and your front door locks because
Ooh.
the Nintendo higher ups are coming to your door. Perhaps if you've ever purchased a game online on the Switch Online, they know where you live. And this holiday, Miyamoto and a couple of the other guys, give me some of them. Give me some of them, RMC.
No, you give me them.
Ionuma and
Doug Bowser.
Doug Bows, D Bows, and I think Reggie's not involved this year for obvious reasons, but yeah, they're Koji Kondo. They're all going to be dressed up in their favorite Mario costumes or Nintendo characters, and they're going to be going undercover. So if any Nintendo characters show up at your door for candy this holiday, rip their masks off. And remember, a lot of those guys, because a lot of those guys are shorter, so don't think it's a kid. Rip the mask off if you see any.
Wait,
Nintendo
going
kids.
undercover what? Just to get candy, or are they
Well,
looking for something?
No, they're going undercover to get candy, and they're going to see if anyone rips their mask off and calls them out. If you do, you get a Switch OLED Halloween edition, which probably would be the bigger news, that there's going to be a Halloween edition OLED Switch. But nope, they're coming to. It's going to be like a reverse Santa Claus, except with a bunch of them. They're going to be going to your house,
And it's Halloween.
Yeah. So that's true, unlike most of the rumors that come in here. But thank you for,
that was let's call it an interesting one.
Yep.
Thanks for that, dude.
You got a little
Appreciate
time
it.
to change those locks. I mean, I guess you don't have to change the locks unless you gave them
gonna
keys already.
No, you want them to come over.
If you're going to open the door,
You want to
anyway.
get them.
That's all we got this week, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this Friday show. Oh, okay.
People don't ever get to hear it.
Tweet us your thoughts. Go Nintendo tweet. And we'll be back to regular Saturday show next week. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
That was nice.
You're welcome.
After show, anything? Anybody got something? I'll tell you what I got. I got a pee.
That's because
But
you
I'm
had
a
to drink all that
professional.
water.
Oh,
I do not pee during the show.
Responder. Everybody should watch that. Get
I-
BritBox and watch it.
I opened my Discord and I saw Lanquin say, "Look at that kerbussy."
So I found it really interesting that
Brit
Ty
is
West
short for British.
made X, which
Yes.
released in like February, and Pearl, which is the prequel, which is releasing the exact same year, just like months apart.
I read that.
Unless they shot it together at the same time.
I read that he secretly shot it, like they
Under
weren't
one
in the
budget
It
or
wasn't
something?
in the budget for it, and they like threw it together, and the lead actress, I believe, like helped him with the script and stuff, and they just kind of like winged it. I mean, that's what it made it sound like, but it's been getting good reviews. So
I read that X is actually a sequel to X versus Sever.
I didn't read that.
Remember that movie?
Larry versus Bird.
It was Lucy Liu, is it the one?
I don't remember who was in it. I want to say Antonio Banderas. I could be wrong. I don't remember who was in X versus Sever, but nobody does because nobody saw it.
Well, yeah, X was good.
Wear
I wanna
dark
see
pants
Pearl.
like Jim Ross when he commentates wrestling. It hides the accidents. Oh, good idea. It's a very strange thing to say about Jim Ross, but he does wear dark pants.
You
so-
won't catch Jim Ross wearing white pants.
That's not that kind of guy, not at all. I had something I want to say, but that's it. My brain's so fried after this week. I'm so happy that it's the
She-Hulk's
weekend.
over. Did you want to?
Yeah, we can't talk about it because she didn't watch the finale
Oh,
yet
okay.
because of her rough day yesterday. I will say I greatly enjoyed it, and I'm very sad it's over. And I really appreciate, let's say, how. I don't want to. No, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to spoil stuff, but it was a finale I won't soon forget. Let's say that. I still got Rings of Power is over, right?
I don't think so. Is it?
I think the finale was today.
Spoiler
really?
alert, they throw the ring back into the fires of Mordor.
Man, where I'm watching, they don't even have a ring yet. So,
I'm just saying, after all this,
those
those little hobbits go and do their business. So
well, you know, it's like
spoiler
watching
alert.
Andor. We know what happens after Andor. I haven't watched this week's episode,
Yeah.
but
Oh, really? That's good.
good episode.
Yeah.
Great show.
Still
Great
good.
show.
Still
I
great.
haven't
We're
watched
in a
it.
great time for TV right now. Well, we've
okay.
been in a great time for TV for a while, but these few months in particular feel great. We
Yeah,
got
been good this
House
year.
of Dragon, She-Hulk's over. We got Rings of Power. You got The Responder you just watched.
The Responder is great. I'm telling you, he better get some recognition for that
When did
role.
it come out though?
Just recently.
Oh.
So like, but man, he's so good in it. So good. I had to watch it with the subtitles on, but it was really good.
Some of the trailer I watched and I was like, I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, I had to watch subtitled, but man, it was good. Like he's a great actor, man. It's ridiculous.
What do we got coming up movie TV wise? Well, of course, movie we got Wakanda Forever, but there's got to be other movies and TV shows to look forward to, right? It's not coming to an end, right?
I think
There's
it's
big
coming
things
to an
coming.
end. You know, if this is the last episode of Rings of Power, we better see a ring for God's sake, right? We haven't seen one ring yet.
O-ring.
I mean, I've been imagining Elrond's O-ring, but
Elrond's O-ring.
not even.
That's funny.
I'm a Galadriel guy. Thank you very much.
Trying to
I
think
don't know
of
what any of that means.
who's Galadriel, the elf?
The one that gives you a boner every time you see her.
Is it the elf woman?
Yes.
Man, I think she's strange looking. I do.
The royal you. Well, I don't. So there you
I
go.
don't think she's
Different
ugly,
strokes,
but
different
yeah.
strokes, different folks.
You know, it's like
In fact, she's the lead in Saint Maud, and I wasn't attracted to her in that. So
What is
great
Saint Maud?
acting. Creepy A24 movie.
Maud. Halloween Ends is out today. That is correct, Kufu.
Make
We will certainly watch that. Oh, there she is. Look at that. All right, everybody. You go have a great weekend. It's Friday night. The whole weekend's ahead of you. Friday night is the best night. Go play some games. Have some pizza.
Baby,
It's
lock
Friday
the
night. Get some
door
pizza.
and turn the lights
Play some
down
games.
low.
Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. And we will see you next Saturday. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.